wake up and let the weirdness begin. It's the KVJ Show to start your morning. Kevin is the host, and his skin pigment is whiter than Casper the Ghost. Virginia sounds like this. Nickname Vicious Beast, so don't get her pissed. It's Jason, called Suck a Spaz, and they love to talk about Bigfoot and stats. So get ready, here we go. You're listening to 97.9 with the KVJ Show.
Here we go. Happy Wednesday. It is KVJ Show. Looks like we got a fun little game up there on the wall. We got balloons.
Ooh.
Okay.
Is it the South Florida Mini Fair up in here?
It seems like it. I like it. It's like the balloon game.
First game, pin the tail on the bird.
Okay.
Isn't there balloons and pin the tail on the donkey?
No.
Okay.
I didn't really get that.
It's a tail.
I'm not real good with the kid games at parties.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have kids. I haven't been in one of those in so long.
Okay. Yeah. So we just got balloons there, huh? I'm excited to see what that's all about.
Well, you know what today is.
World Record Wednesday?
Yes, it is.
Okay. All right. Can't wait to see what that says. Some kind of balloon popping type of event?
It's a world record, yes.
Okay, all right.
It's on the list of ones to knock down.
Okay, all right. Well, fun stuff. We'll get to that coming up here on the KVJ Show. Got a ton of other stuff that we're going to get to as well. And if you would like to see all the stuff going on, because there's a lot of visual effects that happen in this program, you can go to YouTube and just search the KVJ Show and check us out right now.
It's the KVJ Dirt of the Day. It's the KVJ Dirt of the Day. Virginia, take it away, because you know we need that Dirt of the Day.
Well, I think most people were like, whoa, when they found out that Armie Hammer likes to be a cannibal in the bedroom. One person is very, very, very happy that Armie Hammer likes to be a cannibal in the bedroom. I'll tell you how it's really helping somebody's career coming up in a second. Before we get into that, Rob Lowe is talking about how he thinks we all need a Brat Pack reunion. I mean, especially his pocketbook would love a Brat Pack reunion.
Of course he would.
I think the world needs some iteration of it. I do. Because there's not enough in the world to make fun of. I think the Brat Pack should volunteer. But I don't know what it is. It has to be something weird and quirky and offbeat. Is it a cartoon? Is it like a version of Scooby-Doo where we're trying to search for Andrew McCarthy? Is that? I don't know. But hey, why not? Oh, okay. Brat Pack as Big Brother. How about that?
He has a nice connection wherever he is.
The Brat Pack was the name of his crew, right?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, they did a ton of movies. If you're going back to the 80s, it was an impressive crew. I don't know if you could get them together for maybe a season of Big Brother or something like that. That might be kind of cool.
I would watch that.
I would watch it too.
Yeah. But you would have Rob Lowe, Emilio Estevez, Anthony Michael Hall, Molly Ringwald, Ali Sheedy, Andrew McCarthy, Demi Moore, maybe even throw in like a Charlie Sheen or Robert Downey Jr.
Judd Nelson should be in there.
Yes.
Ralph Macchio could even be in there, arguably.
Was he a Brat Packer?
He was kind of tied into the whole thing because keep in mind they did The Outsiders together. And that kind of had some Brat Packy type things. So you got the core that I just, mentioned, but then you had others that were kind of floating around, like it was guilt by association.
I know you're a fan, Jaybird, of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
I am. I actually downloaded the song, so after you do your story, we can play the song. It's actually going to be what's on my mind, if you want to honest with you.
Sorry, I didn't mean to steal your bit.
Virginia scoops me.
Damn, I didn't even know.
It's all good.
Well, I guess I'll steal it completely. They're doing a prequel of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. The movie's going to be called Wonka, and it will center on Willy Wonka's early days prior to having the elaborate candy factory.
Did it say it's going to have any encounters with him and the vicious Canids?
No Canid updates.
Okay.
But one can only hope.
Do you want a taste of the famous song?
I do.
I mean, I don't know if you do.
I need it now.
In the prequel?
That's a great question.
Okay.
Or are they going to make it all dark and creepy? Because he does
Kind of like the Johnny Depp version when they did the reboot.
Yeah, and even with the Gene Wilder, he had an element of creepiness to him. Which
that sounded creepy right there.
A few creepy parts in the original Willy Wonka. I mean, him and Slugworth. Come on, Virginia.
Oh, well, Slugworth is a tramp. And finally here, we were all shocked when we heard those crazy stories and the bizarre bedroom talk of Armie Hammer. He was talking about how he wanted to, supposedly talking about how he wanted to break women's ribs and eat them like a cannibal in the bedroom. I'm like, what the heck? And so now he's lost his gig in the movie he was doing with J-Lo. It was called Shotgun Wedding. And somebody who's really happy that Armie Hammer is a cannibal, Josh Duhamel. They're putting Josh Duhamel right there in his role. And so sources say Josh Duhamel is giddy.
Giddy, huh?
Yeah, nothing like a cannibal scandal to make you lose your gig.
We've seen it all here at the Dirt of the Day, and you managed to shock us with that cannibal scandal, Armie.
That one's pretty intense.
Pretty rough. And that's what's going on in your dirt.
KVJ not only does a radio show, but also does an after-the-show podcast. Watch or listen on KVJShow.com.
What are you thinking about? What are you thinking about? What's on your mind? Are you thinking about? What are you thinking about?
Well, Jaybird, you got anything else on your mind today? Other than Willy Wonka.
I do.
Okay.
I got so much. How much time do you have? I'll even take up Virginia's time if you want.
You can have it.
We got 4 more hours, so all the time you can handle.
Well, I'll talk about what's going on for World Record Wednesday. I'm excited for this one.
Okay.
It's the most balloons popped by chopsticks in 1 minute. So I have to throw the chopsticks like spears at the balloons and try to pop as many as I can in 1 minute.
What kind of chopsticks you bring?
I got all kind of different. I got the regular chopsticks. I got kind with points on them. I have all kind of sharpened some.
Interesting.
It's like a weapon.
Yeah, you're allowed to have a point on there because I know some chopsticks are flat and you're not going to be able to pierce the balloon.
Right.
These balloons, man, I don't know. I think I might have blown them up too big. Do I want them bigger or small? I want them probably bigger.
Yeah.
You want them bigger because then the plastic is thinner.
Mm-hmm. It's taut.
Yes, it is taut. I'm not gonna lie. My mind's kind of all over the place. I'm still setting it up.
We can tell.
Wow.
I mean,
little
Hurricane
frazzled.
Jaybird came running in here this morning with all these balloons. Balloons are going everywhere. He's cursing.
Oh, boy.
He's hanging balloons. They're popping.
Yeah.
He can't
It's
believe
chaos.
it. It was chaos.
Yeah.
Well, I even got here early to do the setup and all that.
Yeah, okay.
And man, the setup hasn't gone well.
It has not.
No, it has not. We're finally getting in the stride now.
Okay, you hit your groove.
Hit the groove. I got suits on it with me. I got the A team.
Okay.
So.
You need to whittle your points on the wooden chopsticks.
Make them real sharp.
Make them real sharp.
Mama, let me show you how sharp I get. Well, I'll show you during commercial. I won't be able to find them right now.
Poke Kevin.
The ones that I whittled, it would kill Kevin.
Prove it.
I can't do that to him.
It's an amazing thing, though, if you've ever played the balloon game at the South Florida Fair. Have you ever thrown a dart, hit a balloon, and it bounced off?
Yeah, because they're underinflated.
I'm like, what the heck is going on? Like, the dart came back and stuck in me. I'm like, do I get a prize for that?
Well, they're underinflated, and they also have dull points on the darts.
I couldn't
too.
believe it. It bounced. I'm like, I just threw a dart and it hit a balloon and it bounced off and hit me.
Has anybody in this room ever won a game at the fair or carnival? I don't know if I have.
I don't think I have maybe by chance, not by skill.
Is that a coincidence?
I'm usually drunk at the fair.
Well, you're in good company.
I mean, let's be honest.
Virginia, what do you got on your mind today?
Well, I have a little bit of a dilemma going on this weekend. So I've been invited to a crab boil at my development where I live. We have a clubhouse, and apparently they're doing a crab boil out in the parking lot. And they're going to have like all kind of, people out there, and they're cooking, they're doing all kinds of stuff. And it's hard for me as a person from Louisiana to go to any kind of a seafood crab boil, any kind of crustacean celebration.
Okay.
It's hard for me to go and not be overly critical about how they do it because I'm a perfectionist.
Yes. Uh-huh.
I am a perfectionist. And I looked on the menu and they're serving gumbo. They're serving jambalaya. They're serving a crab boil. They're serving like everything Cajun, and no one even asked me to consult on it. So
How dare they?
I'm going. They invited me, but I'm like, there's no way that whoever is doing this, I don't even know the person that's doing this.
But already
It's some guy named Dale. I never met Dale.
And what kind of Cajun name is Dale?
Dale
I mean, how
is
many
not
guys on
a
the bayou
Cajun
are
name.
named Dale?
I don't know. Someone's kind of sound like a crustacean snob over here.
Oh, big time.
Big time.
I'm trying to figure out how I can center myself and go to this crustacean celebration and not be judgy.
Then don't go. You just
Yeah,
don't. There's no way you
that
can
is
do
the only
this.
way.
Because you're going to drink, and we know what happens when you drink. Opinions galore.
Apparently, Dale has all kinds of beer out there. The beer's free.
Dale sounds like an amazing person, and you're already poo-pooing on Dale.
Is it a Beta beer?
It is not a Beta
Oh,
beer.
what?
Dale works for a different beer company. I won't out him, but I guess he's bringing the beer that he works for.
Are you about to dox Dale because you don't like the way he's doing crustaceans?
Dale is getting doxxed hard.
I just can't believe I wasn't consulted on the project. I mean, I am the most authentic Cajun person in my neighborhood. I have trophies in my house from gumbo cooking competitions
This is an insult.
that I've won. I mean, Dale, your gumbo better be good.
It's kind of like you're putting together a pickup basketball team and you live next to LeBron James and you don't even think to invite him.
Thank you.
No, you are our favorite Cajun man. You know the most.
Oh, don't you worry. I'm probably go Facebook Live from this thing on Saturday.
So you're a gumbo snob. I am a grilled cheese snob. Oh man, we all have our thing.
We all have our thing, and you have your thing. And if you're invited to somebody else's thing, which is your specialty, it's hard to walk in without stank eye.
Yeah.
But I'm going to try.
Okay.
That's
You
impossible.
won't, yeah,
I
you're
will.
not,
I will not pregame.
you will not succeed.
You won't pregame. Who are you?
Right.
You won't pregame.
pre-gaming.
Sell that bag of lies to somebody else.
Right. Come on now. Come on now. What is on my mind today? It is NFL football player stocking season for me here in South Florida. I had this years ago. I told you about this one time. My daughter, when she was playing softball, she went to this training facility in Boca Raton, and she came back and she's like, Dad, I was at this place doing my lessons today, and this guy came up and he said he was a football player for Ohio State.
Oh.
Because he saw the Ohio State sticker that I had on my car.
Oh.
And he said, well, just, my name's Mike and just wanted to say hi. And my daughter came back and she told me, she's like, so have you heard of a guy named Michael Thomas?
Oh, he's only the best player on the Saints.
He's the highest paid receiver now in the NFL. And so he was there at this training facility in Boca along with Von Bell and Joey Bosa, who is one of the best defenders now in the NFL. And
He's a beast.
They were all there at one time, just kind of working out and getting ready for what's called the NFL Combine, where they go in and this training facility in Boca, they train these players who are coming out of college and going into the NFL draft how to get the fastest 40 time, because there's a way you can launch off the line and things like that. And you're shaving all these seconds off while increasing millions to your draft stock.
Gotcha.
So that's why they pay these guys. So agents will come in, NFL player agents will take these players under wing, put them up in a place to stay, get them food and all that, because they know when they sign with the NFL, they'll make millions of dollars.
Gotcha.
And so South Florida is one of those hotbeds for all these players getting ready for the NFL Combine. And this place in Boca was one of those industrial parks. Didn't have a sign out front, nothing. It was just a glass door and a building with no windows.
We don't need a sign.
You would never have any idea, and they're just hidden, these little pockets all over South Florida. But if you kind of stalk players like I do on social media, you'd be like, oh my gosh, where are they? They're in Miami, they're in here, and they're in there. And so the Combine is going to look different this year because of COVID. So they're going to be doing it individual locations. And I was just reading today that Brandon Marshall, who is a former NFL wide receiver, he's got a training facility in Weston. And so he is going to be looking for about 50 of the most elite players between March 3rd and 5th to come and be a part of his training facility's combine workouts.
Wow.
And
you need to call up there and offer your janitorial services for free.
I'm going to be doing, what do you know? Oh, there's House Athlete. Oh, I didn't realize I was going to run into all these big-time football players. So if you love football and all that, that's kind of the heads up that I didn't realize until that one time my daughter was there. And then I've really paid attention to it. And I would say from what I've seen, about 70-80% of the NFL players going into the combine do a lot of their training in South Florida.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's some cool stuff. So I will be out stalking future NFL greats.
We're all looking to get in the bushes. Just some of us have different targets.
Different ways of doing it. Yeah, so I went in there like I was watching my daughter's lesson one time, and I was kind of
Oh,
hanging
how
out.
you doing, Caitlin? Oh, you're looking great. Great form. Meanwhile, you're not even looking at her.
No, she actually left. I was there an extra hour. Didn't even realize it. She was already home. I'm like, hey, where'd my daughter go? She was out of there. So coming up here in a couple of minutes, today is a big day in the United States. It is Inauguration Day. We will be having a new president taking the oath, and the other president will be coming back here to South Florida sometime a little bit later on this morning. So I got some inaugural fact or fiction for you today.
We should ace this because we're so politically connected.
Oh my gosh, poli-sci was my thing, dog.
Said nobody on this show. Well, maybe Kevin can say it.
For a semester.
You liked it for a semester.
Yeah. So what do you think here? Coming up, inaugural fact or fiction. When Andrew Johnson was inaugurated as vice president in 1865, he was totally trashed.
I mean,
What do you think? Is that a fact, or did I just completely make that one
That
up?
is the way to do it.
I mean, back in the day, I feel like they were always trash, right?
Always just everyone nonstop
It was-
trashed.
It was so hot outside.
Was it? The planet's cooling?
I don't know.
Okay. All right. Well, we got some presidential fact or fiction coming up next.
It's time to gain some knowledge. You learn more here than you would in college. We're the smartest radio station. We are the leaders in education. Is it truth? Is it lies? Kevin's the host. He's got beady eyes. Fact or fiction?
All right, here we go. It is a bonus round of fact or fiction this week because we got a presidential inauguration going to be happening today. So we use this chance to try to teach Virginia and Jaybird some things that they might have missed in school.
Oh, yes. Teach us so we can not retain it.
Okay, here we go. Fact or fiction today. First one for you, Virginia, about inaugurations. Fact or fiction, Donald Trump is the first elected president to miss the inauguration of the following president in 152 years. Is that fact or fiction?
I'll say fiction.
Going to say fiction with a question mark?
Somebody else had to be like drunk and skip it accidentally, right? I mean, 150 something years.
I mean, yeah, if you wrap up 4 years of that stressful job, you would think you would be
tying one on at the end.
absolutely. Well, you are actually right, Virginia. I know this might be debated because that was the headline in some places, but as I looked a little bit more closely, it's kind of a technicality. If you go back, Richard Nixon, the elected president, missed the inauguration of Gerald Ford because he resigned from office. And even Woodrow Wilson skipped Warren G. Harding's 1921 ceremony due to health concerns.
Gotcha.
So even though you'll see that headline, 152 years, technically there were some other elected presidents who did not make the incoming term of the next. All right, Jaybird, fact or fiction, the first presidents to skip their successor's inauguration was actually a father-son combo. The first two.
Yes, I recall this in the History Channel. That, my friend, is fact.
Gonna go fact? Yes, that is. The first was John Adams. He skipped Thomas Jefferson's inauguration in 1801. They didn't really like each other. They did make up before they died and actually wound up dying on the same day, July 4th.
Really?
Which is kind of odd, yes.
Were they together?
No, not like they just died in the embrace of
Like
one
Romeo
another.
and Juliet?
Yeah, it wasn't anything like that.
It
Yeah.
wasn't a love scandal.
Yeah.
That's heavy.
Yeah, they died separately in different places.
Oh.
Same day, though. Then his son, John Quincy Adams, boycotted Andrew Jackson's inauguration 28 years later.
All right.
JQA.
Well, you learn by watching your parents.
I guess so, yeah. Well, what's good for dad is good enough for me. I'm going to skip it, too. Fact or fiction here, Virginia. Each president personally writes their own oath of office. Is that fact or fiction?
No, I think it's like they write it for you. It's already established, right?
You don't get to write your own.
No, it's not like wedding vows.
Like, I, President Poppycock.
No, it's already written.
Okay, you are correct. That is fiction.
Oh, look at you. Crushing it.
Thank you, President Poppycock.
Yes, they are required to recite a specific oath under the Constitution. Fact or fiction, Jaybird, Inauguration Day used to be on the 4th of July.
This is olden times. Yes, that's a fact, my friend.
Okay.
Oh, we were doing so good.
I know. You gotta have a little flaw in there.
Yeah. Actually, it started on March 4th. That's when George Washington did it, and that became the official day until the 20th Amendment moved the day to January 20th, closer to the start of the new Congress.
Not to screw up your game, but I'm going to go into anyway.
Okay, please.
George
It's going too
Washington.
well.
George Washington. Did he really have fake wooden teeth? That's a myth, correct? We've busted that myth, or is that really? Did he really have wooden teeth?
Yeah, I don't know that he did. I thought they were made of bone or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, not wood. All right, fact or fiction here. I got one about George Washington for you then, Virginia.
Oh, good.
He had to borrow money to travel to New York City for his first inauguration.
Damn.
Dude is so broke.
Bitch is broke.
Yeah.
That's a typical New York story.
Guy's going to be president. He don't even have the cash to get there.
I mean, that is sad, but is it just so sad that it might be true? I'm going to say fact.
Going to go fact. That is correct. He had his plantation and estate, but all his money was tied up. He didn't have any cash in his wallet.
Wow.
So he had to bum it just to get to his inauguration.
That's crazy.
Fact or fiction here, Jaybird. When Andrew Johnson was inaugurated as vice president in 1865, he was totally trashed.
Sloshed completely. That's a fact, my friend.
That is a fact, yeah. He was ill from typhoid fever, and he was drinking whiskey to try to numb the pain, except he overdid it, and he ended up slurring his way through his oaths. It got so bad, they had to have somebody else stand in because they couldn't understand him.
Oh, my gosh.
Pretty good, huh?
Imagine if that happened today.
It'd be unreal.
The difference in coverage and all that.
It'd be unreal.
Nobody knew that happened, probably.
He had the typhoid fever?
Yeah, he did.
Dang.
Tough day to get it, right?
I mean, that is rough.
Sounds awful, doesn't it? Typhoid fever?
Were they fighting about wearing masks back then?
I don't know. It's a good question.
Were they wearing anything like that back then?
They did during the Spanish flu, 1918, but this is even further back than that. Fact or fiction here, Virginia. Ronald Reagan holds the records for the warmest and coldest inaugurations. We have both. What do you think?
Warmest and coldest?
Fact or fiction?
I'm going to say fiction.
Gonna say fiction.
Oh, he's got it.
Yeah, he does. In 1981, it was 55 degrees, so blistery warm for his first inauguration. His second in 1985 was only 7 degrees.
Wow.
Same dude. Record on each end. And finally, Jaybird, fact or fiction about inaugurations. Bill Clinton included his mistress on the guest list of his inaugural party, which only included his wife and daughter. His plus one was actually his side action. Fact or fiction?
That's Kevin trickery. There's no way. I'm going to go fiction.
Slick Willie now.
I hear ya.
You're going fiction?
Yes.
Yeah, that's not true. He wanted to, and I'm sure he did have a side piece at the time, but she was not on the official invite list.
Middle of March was when we locked it down around here.
Yeah. And hopefully things are going to start escalating when it comes to the vaccination front, I guess. They say that all 67 Publix pharmacies in Palm Beach County now are going to be offering seniors COVID-19 vaccines. And they say with the Publix pharmacies in Palm Beach County offering the vaccine, that makes 181 Publix pharmacies offering the vaccine in about 15 counties now in Florida.
Nice.
So hopefully those numbers will start affecting the numbers that we have when it comes to the COVID cases and deaths. 162 new ones yesterday. We're up in Florida, getting close to 25,000 here, and I saw the U.S. crossed over 400,000 yesterday.
Oh, how pissed would you be if you lost somebody right now as
Yeah.
they're rolling out the vaccine? I would be so upset.
Yeah, it's like, hold on, man. Hopefully we're going to get there, and there will be some kind of change. They say getting the second vaccine is kind of a problem, and there's more than 40,000 people in Florida that are overdue to get theirs. Some people are kind of confused. They got the first one, like, okay, so now what? I guess booking appointments and things like that's been a little bit dicey. So hopefully things will start getting a little bit better on that front. And that's just it, because a lot of people are just kind of waiting in time to try to get their vaccine, and then they're like, what does that mean? Am I going to be contagious after that? Am I going to get sick or not? What happens after you get the vaccine? The stuff that I'm seeing, at least, hopefully it means good stuff as far as like not being able to spread the virus. They say that after taking the vaccine, you are safe from what matters, disease and spreading. They believe. That's from a guy at Harvard who's a lot smarter than me, so I'll trust him for now.
All right, if you went to Harvard, yeah, we should definitely defer.
Kevin went to Harvard.
Sigma cum laude.
Yep.
Dolly sent this email. This is just kind of what people are dealing with when it comes to testing and the coronavirus still. She said, I got an interesting story about our Rona results. My husband wasn't feeling well Saturday morning. He woke up with chills, sneezing, and a little congestion, cold symptoms. Then Sunday, he decided to get tested. Thinking the line would be long, I went to keep him company. We went to the CB Smith location since it was close and they offer rapid testing for free. We got our results in about 30 minutes. They were both negative. Today, which was Tuesday, he gets a call from the health department letting him know that his results were positive. He argued with the healthcare worker, but when he logged into the portal after the call, they changed the results from negative to positive. He said that after his conversation with the healthcare worker, he got the impression that he was not the only person this has happened to.
Oh, no.
I saw his initial results Sunday, and they were 100% negative. During the last 2 days, we've gone out to eat, grocery shop, gone to work, been around family, etc. Now we both have to be out of work until further notice. I plan on getting retested tomorrow and Friday, so with 2 negative tests, I can go back to work.
Oh, my goodness. That's disgusting.
Right.
They're out there living their lives because they were told they were negative.
Yeah. That's just part of the chaos.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I know some places are requiring coronavirus waivers. If you want to go to parties and a lot of stuff that you have to sign a waiver or at least have that test along with it. So, you know, I was hearing your story, Virginia. I was like, okay, well, could what happened in your situation be similar to what happened in Dolly's situation?
Not exactly, because Dolly and her husband did it right. In the story that I know about from my friend, their friend did it wrong. So this individual woke up feeling sick, like a lot of us have done during this, going, oh my gosh, I got to go get a test to make sure that I'm not COVID positive. So the person goes to get a test, but they didn't go to a rapid place. They went to a place where they'll find out like in the next day or two if they're positive. But while they're waiting for the results, they go to a child's birthday party and proceed to give COVID to the birthday girl.
Oh, my goodness.
That's not on the birthday list.
I mean, what the hell? If you're sick and you're waiting for your COVID results, you shouldn't go to birthday parties.
No.
They walked in and people were like, oh, you look sick. And they're like,
Oh, no, really?
they actually said, don't worry, I got a COVID test. And everybody was like, oh, okay, all right, fine.
Oh, no.
I just didn't get the results yet, but I
They didn't say I didn't get the results. I mean, how stupid are you? And
That's
then you
unreal.
gave it to the sweet little birthday girl.
Oh, my goodness.
I could not believe the level of stupidity.
Dang.
no cake for you.
No cake for, no invite for you forever.
Wow.
You're banned from everything. You're done. You're out of the family. You're so stupid. We can't.
You know, you close to this person?
Yeah,
Do we know him?
you do.
Oh boy. Well, we'll get the answers during commercial, Kevin.
Does that...
I've been told I can't say names because of the relationships, but I mean, real close.
I mean, it's on your lips.
Oh,
I can see the name coming out.
I want to see it so bad. So stupid.
Well, my question is does the temperature thing still work? 'Cause I went into a store the other day, and when you walked in right away, you had to hold up, and then it would take your temperature, and it was all done. It wasn't even a person. It would be like, you have normal temperature, proceed. That was like the new thing. I mean, is that even something that...
It's one of the ways that they can tell, and I guess an early indicator, even before you have like full-blown symptoms, you may have like a fever starting to churn up before you realize you have a fever. It's one of the ways. I mean, I wouldn't totally poo-poo on it, but also if you're walking into a place that temperature checks, don't think this because nobody's got a fever that nobody's got COVID, because that's not true.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You're not completely safe, although it is a nice safeguard.
Somebody said, how about just not having a birthday party and keeping everyone safe?
Yeah.
That's a controversial statement, Kevin.
Very controversial.
That's what our people do.
Just as controversial as, want to get an ice cream cake versus a regular cake? Whoa.
What?
That's the kind of debate I like getting into.
Somebody texted and said they got the vaccine on Monday. Arm is sore, but feeling okay.
All right.
All right. That is good to know. And I know a lot of businesses are offering incentives, like Trader Joe's, Instacart, Dollar General. They'll like pay you some free time off and things like that.
I
to
love
go and
it.
Get your vaccine.
That's awesome. I think Dollar General was saying, we don't want our people to have to be inconvenienced and miss hours at work. So if you get the vaccine, we're going to pay you for 4 hours of work. That's awesome.
Okay. Well, hopefully it escalates here quickly. Right now in Florida, it looks about like 4% of the population has been vaccinated. So we got a ways to go. So hopefully they pick it up here with all the opportunities to go to your local Publix. So you can go and get some delicious chicken wings, a sub, and a vaccine.
I love it.
All in one place. Celebrities having a birthday today include Rainn Wilson from The Office.
Dwight Schrute.
He's turning 55 today. Bill Maher is 65. And Paul Stanley, all right, lead singer of Kiss, is turning 69 today.
They retired yet, or are they still chugging along?
Still limping through the finish line.
They're not retired. They just look tired.
They've been tired for a while.
I keep on hearing that it's the farewell tour again, but I keep seeing them out.
Latest statement, I think I'd heard Paul Stanley last week say, no, for real, we know we've done this 25 times, but for real, this is the final farewell tour.
I don't know if I believe him.
No, I don't know either. He's 69, but I mean, eventually time is going to catch up with you. So I don't know. We'll see what happens with Kiss. A couple other birthdays we got here. It is a happy birthday to Gail. Thank you for keeping me sane at school and for being my walking buddy. Molly sent that in from Boca Middle. Also, happy birthday to beautiful Rosa from James III, Zeus, and Sushi. Thank you for loving and taking care of us, especially through 2020. Ethan Baker, happy 8th birthday from Mommy, Daddy, and brothers. My son Aiden is turning 15 today. He listens to you guys every morning on our way to school. Love from his Mimi and brothers Owen and Richie. There you go. Got a birthday you want to get through to the KVJ Show to get a shout out? Just send us an email, mail@kvjshow.com, mail@kvjshow.com. Okay, Jaybird is demanding an apology. Virginia, I believe you owe him one because you called him out yesterday on something that he was completely right about. It had to do with pizza, too. And how dare you call him out about something on pizza?
Well, yesterday, Kevin had said how he hates bay leaves. And that he didn't like it. And I instantly go, I don't like bay leaves. They're gross. I forget how it all went down. And you instantly go, you're thinking of basil. You're thinking of basil leaves. And you threw me off. I know what a basil leaf is. Bay leaves, you can... I've had pizza with bay leaves in it. You cook it in the sauce, and then you take the leaves out. For example, the reason why I know this, that you can put bay leaves in pizza sauce and put...
You can absolutely put bay leaves in sauce.
So I was at a banquet.
A lot of people do.
Yeah, so I don't...
You just don't put it on the pizza.
But hear me out. The bay leaves were in the pizza sauce. When I had this pizza, it also had basil leaves on it. But I was going to try to explain all of that, but it was getting too long. But the bay leaves you can absolutely put in the pizza sauce, which is what I had at this banquet. Because they were telling me, they go, no, the basil leaf, because I was confused when I first ate it too. It had basil leaves on it, and it had bay leaves in it. So when I was eating it, I had basil, bay leaves, but I was getting comments yesterday. I go, bay leaves are never in anything of a pizza, and they absolutely are, especially a margarita pizza.
They can be in a red sauce, absolutely. But if somebody puts bay leaves on a pizza, they're stupid.
I hear what you're saying, but...
Because you put cheese on top of that, and then people are going to bite into it, and the bay leaf is usually not consumed.
Yeah.
I hear you.
I'm not apologizing for anything.
Well, I didn't ask you for the apology. I just wanted a retraction statement.
I retract nothing. I stand by every statement, and I double down.
Someone sent me a email. Go, bay leaves are never in the sauce. They're never in anything. Pizza. What are you talking about? And that's just not true.
A bay leaf can be cooked into a sauce, a soup, and a lot of times they are. I've never seen one on a pizza, and that's what I was saying.
So you're standing your ground and saying, even though Jaybird wants a retraction, not getting it, and you don't agree.
Don't agree.
Okay.
And how dare you?
Well, first of all, bay leaves are awful. I'm not a big fan of basil either. I think they're both bully ingredients.
I love them both, but I like it pungent.
The bay leaf it's so pungent. I can't stand it.
It's very pungent. And if you're doing, if I'm doing a whole entire chicken noodle soup, I'll only put 2 or 3 bay leaves in a couple gallons of soup.
Are you a fan of the margarita pizza?
Yeah.
I don't like, they usually do a lot of basil-y kind of weird stuff on that one. It's more of the less flavorful, I feel like, in the sauce.
Oh, the more pungent, the better.
Now, what specifically makes it a margarita pizza?
Usually, I see little chopped up diced tomatoes on it. It's a little bit of a different sauce. To me, the sauce feels watered down, kind of.
It definitely has basil, though.
Oh, it's big in basil.
Okay.
Yeah, that's one of the...
And, I mean, you can take off that basil leaf, and it's still going to be all in the sauce. And I don't know why people would put bay leaves in the sauce anyway.
You got a toddler's palate. you need to grow your ass up. You're a man.
You got an old lady's palate.
I like it pungent.
You do. We are opposite.
I want all the onions, all the garlic, all the basil. I need it.
Okay. All right. So I guess we're going to have to just agree to disagree on the.
No, we can take it in the hall and scrap. I don't give a.
I got nothing to do.
Or we can bring these parties together and have a pizza party.
Just no bay leaves.
No bay leaves.
No basil either.
No.
You think maybe Jaybird have better luck with his house? He finally got some of the water warm. His pool's not leaking. That's all good.
Yes.
Still needs to get his lawn mowed, but he got some new furniture. He was telling us about the other day, Virginia. And when I first heard it, too, I was thinking way back to something that you'd see on Archie Bunker, because he said he got a recliner.
He said he got a recliner. And so instantly in my head, what I thought about was the standalone single recliner that everybody's dad had and everybody's grandpa had. And I was like, oh, I hope he didn't get that.
Much like the bay leaf conversation, there was confusion.
Well, you said, I bought a recliner. You didn't say I bought a sofa with end caps that recline.
I mean, how dare I?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I bought a couch recliner, Kevin, along with a sofa recliner.
Okay.
Yes.
It kicks back.
Yes.
Now, when did you get this?
About a week and a half ago.
Okay. And what's its condition?
Did you buy it brand new?
Yes, I bought it brand new.
From the store? They delivered it?
They delivered it. They did all of that stuff.
Okay.
And I fell asleep on it. I sometimes will fall asleep in there.
What happens?
It does happen. And I was having, a terrible night terror. And somehow I broke. The one on the couch is already broke. I did something in my sleep.
You broke the brand new sofa?
The recliner doesn't even work now. I was having such a ridiculous night terror. It is broke. Like it doesn't work.
I don't know how that's even possible.
I've done it before.
It's Jaybird. Have you ever met him, Virginia?
This is not the first.
Man can destroy anything.
It's not the first recliner I've destroyed in my sleep.
So now is it stuck in the open or closed position?
If you try to, it's kind of got limp. If you try to do anything,
it needs sofa Viagra?
It needs sofa Viagra big time.
Week and a half it made it.
Wow.
It's good. He's good, huh?
Something must have happened where I was climbing or something, but yeah.
You were climbing in your sleep. You need to get to a sleep therapy session.
If anyone knows a good sleep therapist or sleep study, I think I might want to look into that.
You do.
It's starting to weigh.
Your recliner would thank you.
How much did that thing cost you?
We don't have to talk a number.
Was it more than $1,000?
Well, it's a recliner. You get
it was definitely more than $1,000.
You get it at a furniture store. Yeah.
Can you take that thing into the shop and get it fixed?
We're going to try.
Okay.
We're going to see what happens.
You have to bring it back in?
Well, I don't know. This all happened into this morning, so I'm just got to
imagine when he calls them a week and a half later, but yeah, I already broke that thing you delivered. Can you come and fix it?
This is a hot mess. Did you get the buyer protection plan?
I don't know.
Sounds very sophisticated, Virginia.
Well, you're a guy that's easily upsold stuff, so I can see them upselling you on the fire protection plan.
Are you a guy that's easily upsold?
No,
Look
she's,
at him.
she's just being insulting. It's all. She's kicking a man when he's down.
Were you upsold that hat?
No, actually, I love this hat. And you can kiss my ass.
You buy a recliner, you get a free wool hat.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop bringing these personal stories in.
Did you keep your receipt?
Yes, I have my receipt.
All right, let me look at it. It'll say on there.
I think I'm gonna handle
Yeah.
this one by myself.
Aw.
We're good. We're good.
Furniture Store was in the top 5 on a list we came up with on the KVJ Show Facebook page. The question was, you have 30 minutes to spend $5,000 in one store. What store are you going to? Number 4 was Furniture Store. That's what people said if they had $5,000 in 30 minutes.
It'd go quick.
Yeah, it would go really quick.
What do you think ranked higher than Furniture Store on the responses we got?
Home Depot.
Virginia, very good. Home Depot, number 1.
Yeah. I
Number
would
1.
love to go in there with just carte blanche because they've got everything. They've got appliances. They've got rugs. I know you need rugs.
I do.
They
Yeah.
have those. They have everything.
Yeah, that was the number 1 answer, Home Depot. Target and Walmart were 2 and 3.
You can do some damage in Walmart. Meaning you can get a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, imagine if you had $5,000 in 30 minutes to spend it in a Walmart.
I would not get your furniture at Walmart though.
No, please don't.
I mean, you'll be putting something on a table and it'll just fall.
Everything they have is particle board.
There's a lot of particles at Walmart.
Everything. Don't get particle board wet.
You can get some things at Walmart, but just I don't know.
Not furniture.
I was a little surprised by number 5. It was Bass Pro Shop.
Okay.
If you had 30 minutes of $5,000 to spend at one store,
They
Bass
have
Pro
a
Shop.
they have a lot of cool like gear.
Gear.
Yeah, guns, Kevin.
I'm gonna get some Barracuda lures.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just surprised that it beat out Apple Store. Because to me,
Yeah.
I think I would put Apple Store above that. But
Brent in the chat room said the Lion's Den. You guys know what the Lion's Den is?
wasn't it an old
No.
porn shop, smut shop?
It's like a sex shop up
From like
in
the
the
70s, wasn't it? or
No,
something?
it's up in the middle of the state.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, I know where the Lion's Den is at.
I bet you
A
do.
lot of cougars there.
It's on your way to Disney.
Is it the one they have all those
Perfect.
billboards for? They got a couple smut shops that they got like a gazillion billboards for if you go up in the middle of the state.
You do start seeing the Lion's Den. You start seeing some signs. Yeah, I mean, I'm very familiar with the Lion's Den.
So on your way with the family to Epcot, you can stop off.
Pick up that gimp mask you wanted.
Because if I have to go to Disney, I got a pregame with some real hardcore porn.
He's saying it's Okeechobee Road in Fort Pierce. Maybe there's a couple of them, but the Lion's Den, I don't know if they're a franchise.
Okay. 30 minutes and $5,000 to spend in one store. Next was liquor.
Oh, liquor.
And
That's a
7.
great one.
Yeah. Put these pretty much at the same, but there were enough mentions for Gucci and Louis Vuitton.
Yeah, again, your money won't go far.
Nothing
Yeah.
with food, no grocery stores or anything.
The Publix did get some mentions, yeah. It was down there, yeah.
Oh, $5,000 and Publix. Look out.
I think it's because don't Target and Walmart, the super ones, have food?
Yeah.
It's
Target has at least the one on North Lake, a very weak selection of food.
very
Okay.
weak. Look, we bash Walmart a lot. Their bakery, though.
Bakery.
Okay.
Walmart's bakery has good product and great prices.
Fat Kevin, I'd love to see you do damage in there. I think you could do really great things.
At the
Walmart bakery.
Walmart bakery. Yeah, I've seen it. It looks like they got a lot of nice sweets.
It's everything that Kevin never eats.
I know, right?
It's sugar and carbs. He hasn't had those things in like at least 6 years.
I wasn't talking to the Kevin Ross. I was
Sorry,
talking
the-
Fat
the
Kevin.
old-
Oh, Fat Kevin.
Yeah.
The old Fat Kevin.
Fat Kevin would have loved the bakery.
I just want to see what he would do in there.
Okay, well, and the last one that people had on the list, water sports. Can you get anything for $5,000 at a water sports store?
A half of a jet ski.
I mean, yeah.
That's what I thought too. Maybe that's why I didn't get a lot
Maybe
of answers.
like, I don't know. You'll get like inflatables. You can buy like tubes and life vests and stuff like that and anchor line.
Nah, let's go to Publix instead.
Okay.
Yeah, I stand by Home Depot.
Okay. All right. Well, if you want to go and drop in your answers as well, 30 minutes, $5,000 in one store. Just go to the KVJ Show Facebook page. Coming up here in a couple of minutes, we're going to be finding out if Rocco is in trouble again.
if I was a betting man, and I am.
Yeah, something's going on here. We got to find out. Rocco apparently has done something.
You know where to place your bets.
Yeah.
I do.
Okay. What has Rocco done now? We'll find out coming up.
Check out KVJ TV on YouTube or just log on to KVJShow.com to watch the show now. Powered by Cleveland Clinic, where every life deserves world-class care. Now, back to the KVJ Show on 97.9 WRMF.
Oh, no. Is Rocco in trouble again, Virginia?
Well, guess what came home yesterday?
Hopefully Rocco.
Yes, Rocco did come home.
Okay.
Progress reports.
Okay.
And he got one back in November.
Uh-huh.
And then now he just got one yesterday for January.
Okay.
And back in November, you know, he was only a couple of weeks into doing actual school. He had been virtual, and then he had only been brick and mortar for a couple of weeks when November's progress reports were done. It was new, it was fresh, and I think he was on his best behavior. So they rate these kids on a scale of 1 to 4.
Okay.
4 is the best, 1 is the worst. Back in November, Rocco, I mean, he was bringing home 3s and 4s across the board.
And this is for conduct or just the overall?
Overall, everything, yeah. A lot of 3s and 4s, mostly. Yesterday's report came home.
Yeah.
And 1s and 2s.
Oh, no.
Things like listening, following directions, participation, plays well with others.
Oh,
What did he
no.
get on that one? Plays well with others.
I think he got a 2 or a 1.
What is it? 'Cause one's-
It was low. It was disturbingly low.
Did he have any 3s in there?
Yeah, he did. Like on academic stuff like vocabulary and scholastic stuff and like the reading and the math. I'm not worried about those.
It's behavior issues.
It's all behavior. Because Rocco thinks he's in charge. And I eavesdrop on him when he's out in the front yard playing with the neighborhood kids, who all, by the way, really don't like him. He is bossy. He is so bossy. He is telling these kids what to do, and if they don't do it, he screams at them.
What are you Sinicki's doing over there in Tequesta?
Well, I've been on him. I'd be like, Rocco, you cannot talk to people like that. He's got this boss baby syndrome.
Huh, I wonder where he gets it from.
Yeah. Where could that ever come from? That is a mystery.
But I mean, I'm sure his teacher is now requesting a teacher conference with the parents.
Okay.
Sure, that's going to be fun.
So when you need to work his behavior to an acceptable level, what is your strategy to motivate your child to do what you would like for him to do?
I mean, the beatings commence. I don't know.
What? Because people always ask me, go, okay, Virginia's going to say Rocco misbehaved. He didn't follow directions. What's going to happen? What is she going to do for discipline for Rocco? Does he get things taken away, or does it really?
I think he has to have things taken away. I don't know. I'm going to ask his teacher. What's her advice? What should we do?
Yeah.
Because it's got to hit him where it hurts.
Well, what are you going to take away? His garage door opener or his vacuum cleaner?
I use both of those.
Oh, yeah. See, that's the problem. That's why the kid's genius, because he actually asked for things that you use and won. Now you can't take away his most prized possessions.
It's got to hurt a little bit.
I agree.
There's got to be a little bit of fear of when he acts like that. He knows, oh crap, I'm getting my computer taken away, not for a day, not for 2 days. We're talking a good amount of time. We're going to be in the kid clink where we are in trouble, and then because that kid does love his things.
His gadgets. Yes. He's a man of computers and technology
Phones.
and phones and gadgets and this and that. And
It's going to cause a meltdown, but the first meltdown's going to be bad. I don't know. I mean, again, I don't have kids. I don't know.
no, you're right. I mean, I need help, and I hope his teacher can guide me, because I'll take everything. I will put every single electronic piece of toy he has and put it in a box and lock it up.
Okay, well, I guess we got to hear how bad it is first. You know, that's typical for a lot of kids his age to not listen. It's a lot typical for a lot of kids Jaybird's age to not listen. So, you know, that's just something that humans do. So let's see how bad it is.
It's an attitude, though, with him. And it's a whole, he's not going to do what you tell him to do because he's in charge.
Well, that's what they're saying on the report. It's all behavior stuff. It's conduct. It's not the grades.
Is it as bad as it was? Remember, he was sticking things on the teacher's desk and throwing things and all kinds of things before? Doesn't sound like it's to that level, right?
I don't know.
Swearing?
If it's like in pre-K, he did have some issues with authority. I think it's coming around to that again.
Uh-oh.
This is what, kindergarten or?
Kindergarten.
This is kindergarten.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he thinks he's in charge, and nobody's going to tell him what to do because he is in charge.
Well,
Wild stallion.
Let me ask you this. Let's say you do take away a phone or a computer. Will you and Panda be on the same page with that, or will there be...
Yeah, I think if we take it away, we'll take it away. We just have to figure out how to hit him where he actually cares. I'm going to have to take 18 different things away.
Well, that's what happens when you're on restriction. You get stripped, you're in jail.
I got no problem taking 18 things away. I just need to know that that's the best move.
I mean, the parents still do restriction, right? Or is that considered...
Oh, yeah, no, parents, a lot of them do, and it just depends upon what your parenting style is. And this is a good point by Stephanie. I guess you got to ask this question yourself, Virginia. Rocco doesn't think he is in charge. He is in charge. And maybe you got to ask yourself that question. If that is really the case, if Rocco does run the household, and some kids do, then I don't know how that's ever going to change anywhere else. Because if he is used to getting his way and he does run the house based on his whims and emotions, then...
It's not like this kid just runs roughshod over me. There's a lot of disciplining going on in the house, and a lot of scolding, and a lot of moments of talking to, and a lot of timeouts. I mean, these do happen in my house. This kid just doesn't care.
Yeah.
But
He still thinks he's the boss.
And maybe timeout isn't, what is the timeout? Is it a little, okay, you're going to sit on the couch for a few minutes?
I send him to his room, and, he can't go outside and play.
But does he get his electronics taken away during that time?
I'm thinking about locking all of them up.
Okay.
Well, it's not timeout if you go into your room and you get to play on games and stuff.
Sure, right.
And I
Just
don't
playtime in another location.
I'm not trying to be Judge Judy over here. I don't like being the heavy.
I hear you.
Somebody suggested you read the book Raising Lions. If you have a strong-willed child, apparently that is a book that every parent should read.
Raising Lions.
Do you have to do another conference now?
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah.
The
Teacher wants to speak to us.
When is this?
I don't know. It hasn't been scheduled yet. But, I don't have time for this. And I hate it. And I'm so embarrassed.
Well, I don't be embarrassed. I wouldn't be embarrassed. People get unruly sometimes.
One text says, we said in the Marines, with pain comes discipline. Works on dogs, works on Marines, works on kids. Start giving that kid some spankings. Okay. Marine drill sergeant.
I mean, he has been swatted on rare occasion when he is just at the end of his rope and he is just being a total jerk. It's a last resort that I'm not afraid to use, but we rarely use it.
You'll like swat him on his bottom?
Yeah.
Hey, show me. Come on, show me.
No, because you're going to get turned
Oh, yeah,
on,
you will.
and then you're going to go home and dream about me like you probably did last night.
Yeah, and he was taking his pants off, too, so that makes it real weird.
Just swat me.
Just swat me on the front.
Well, I do like this. This is, for maybe your older teenage kids, kind of a little assignment here. Virginia had this idea, and I love this. If you've got a teenager, what we want is all KVJ Nation parents to make a video. Now, what you simply do is you just
A secret video. Don't let them know you're taping.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you make a video, you walk in your teenager's room, and what do you ask, Virginia?
You just say, what's that smell? Even if you don't smell anything at all, just say, what's that smell? And then wait and see what they say. I've done it to Mags like 5 different times over the past month. And it's so funny because every time she's got a different answer. And then it's just weird. It's just funny to see the other kids in the room like look up.
Like,
and
oh my
they look
God.
around.
Does Mom smell my weed?
What are the answers that she's given you so far?
So one of them was a candle.
Okay.
One of them, the other day, it was really weird. I walked in and I'm like, what's that smell? And she's putting makeup on one of her little friends who's a guy. And she says the smell is this peach powder they're putting on his face. I mean, it was a bizarre scene I walked into.
Okay.
What's going on at DeQuesta?
I don't know, but it's a fun game to play. It's amusing me.
Okay, well, try that question. If you get an amusing result, you can
You
send
gotta
us the
come,
video.
boom, come in like Kramer from Seinfeld,
Okay,
though.
startle 'em.
You startle them a little bit, and you be like, "What's that smell?"
Oh, you get paranoid teenagers. Oh, what do you mean? I'm so paranoid. You're going to get some kids. I'm sorry, Dad, it's pot, my bad.
5 different times you do it, you'll get 5 different answers.
Just send us that email and that video, mail@kvjshow.com, mail@kvjshow.com. Virginia's son Rocco didn't get a great progress report, so she's got to go have a little conference with the teacher, find out what's going on. Back in pre-K, had some behavioral issues. Somebody asked the question via text if Rocco was still doing the behavior therapy.
We did it, and it focused more on me. They wanted to teach me all of these things, which I did get a lot out of it. Things that I can do at home to make Rocco a better kid at home.
Okay.
So I don't know if I'll be doing that again because I don't have time.
Okay.
But I would love to put Rocco in a program where they actually work with Rocco, not me.
Mm-hmm. Somebody suggested looking up ODD, oppositional defiant disorder. I wish I'd figured this out with my son at Rocco's age.
I know all about that. My friend's kid has that.
ODD, huh? Odd.
It's not good.
You down with ODD?
No.
Somebody text in, said, ask his teacher when you talk to her about referring him for gifted. He's probably bored, and that's when you get behavioral issues a lot of times coming from a gifted teacher.
Yeah, I would love to get him into the gifted program. I would love to do that. I just don't know if he's testing there.
Okay.
And when we tested him independently outside of the school system, he was testing in a first grade level before kindergarten. So that was good. But he's not participatory at school. So I don't know if he's participatory when it comes to the testing.
Okay.
I don't know how much effort he's putting into school to make himself stand out as gifted.
Yeah.
Because he wants to, pick his toe or whatever.
Right. Okay. Got a suggestion here from Mindy in Jupiter. What was your thought for Virginia's son Rocco, Mindy, and his behavioral issues?
So, Virginia, you're focusing a lot on the discipline for Rocco. So my suggestion, which I've done with my now 28-year-old son, but when he was much younger in elementary school, was to find 30 seconds, and maybe the teacher and you from home and the teacher in class can find 30 seconds of the day or 5 seconds, whatever it is, when Rocco is doing something positive. He has good behavior, and he's recognized for that. So instead of focusing on discipline and taking all his toys away or doing whatever, switch gears and try to focus on the positive, because he probably wants to please everyone, and he's going to get negative attention if he's not getting the positive.
No, you're right. He does. He's a pleaser, and we do. We definitely we highlight the positive.
Okay.
And he has days filled with both positive and negative.
Okay.
And we highlight the positive, and we get upset with the negative.
Okay.
He's a mix.
Do you know when you meet with this teacher when we might have the next chapter?
No.
Okay. So I got to set that up and
I
everything.
had to sign all the forms saying, yep, I acknowledge my kid's bad. Send those in today, and then they will contact you to set up the...
Of course they will.
I'm sure I'll be the first one. If it's need-based...
Yeah. Okay. Well, Jaybird is going for another world record here today. See just how challenging that world record is to achieve. It is the record for the most balloons popped in 1 minute using chopsticks. The record is 40 balloons in 60 seconds.
Do either one of you need any chopsticks? Because I went real big with I have so many extra chopsticks.
I love
Yeah.
chopsticks.
Well, Mama, happy birthday.
Thank you. These are sweet.
What a bonus, huh?
Real bamboo.
Whoa.
Only the best the bird gets.
Wow. That's good stuff here. Okay, so we got a wall of balloons over here. This kind of looks like the South Florida Mini Fair is going on here in the studio.
Yeah, it does. Where's my elephant ear?
Oh, I would love an elephant ear right now.
No, you would.
Okay, so typically when we see a world record, the first thing you do is doing well is at least half, or doing half is pretty good. So that would be 20 in 60 seconds. So we start from there. Do you think Jaybird could get 20 in 60 seconds, Virginia?
I hope so.
I hope so too. It's all going to depend on, do these bamboo sticks, do they puncture the balloon?
Can I see one of the sticks you're going to be using here real quick? Because I think the weighting of it does matter. Because at my house, we even have like the metal ones. You ever seen those, Virginia?
I have. Denny's gave me some nice metal ones as a Christmas gift one year.
Yeah.
They're awesome because you can reuse them.
Okay. Yeah, these are like
These
the
are
typical
bamboo.
wood, yeah.
These are not reusable.
They're heavy.
Heavier.
So with the velocity and the heart mixing together,
Yeah.
What can we do? What can we make happen?
I'm going to put it, I think 15 in 60 seconds would be impressive.
Okay, but these balloons pop pretty easy. I was noticing, but putting them up, they popped in my face all morning long.
Okay.
I know. I kept hearing you cursing.
Oh, it would scare
They
me.
kept
I
popping.
kept on thinking someone's shooting at me.
So what do you think, Virginia? Is 15 the right number? Should it be 20? Do you think 20's half of the world record?
I don't know. I mean, ugh.
It's not the best production.
I'll put it
either.
at 15, yeah. They're just
Okay,
taped on there.
15. I'll say he'll do 15. Yes. Over.
Okay.
So if I get 20, I mean the celebration.
Oh, you should be jumping up and down.
Suits, what do you think? Over, under? He's going to go over. Okay.
What?
Suits is going over. Well, you did last week. Did really well.
What did we do last week? Was that the pushing of the car?
Yeah.
Oh, geez, yeah.
Was that last week?
I think it was.
Oh, wait, we didn't do it. Did we do it last week? Yeah, we did. What did we
Oh,
do?
it was the jump ropes.
The jump rope.
Oh, that did not go well.
That was terrible.
That was one of my
On skates.
On
That's why we
skates.
forgot it.
That was a bad one.
Yeah.
I wish we could go back and erase it.
Yeah.
So does my ass. It's still sore.
Okay, I have respect for this. I'm terrible at the balloon game. And like I said earlier, I've gone to the South Florida Fair and the darts popped off the balloon and hit me. And so I've got respect for this. I think it's difficult. I am actually going to go under the 15 because I'm curious if this guy had a technique or if he had specially designed chopsticks to do this.
We got a couple. We have other ones too that are a little bit more like skewers. They have a point on them as well, and he had a little bit of a point too. So
I figure. Yeah.
Look,
I'm just judging on the chopstick you handed me.
look at that one. It's more of a skewer, but it still acts as a chopstick.
That's kind of like a kebab.
I know, Virginia.
skewer.
She already told me that
Okay. All right.
it does act as a chopstick, my friend. It looks a lot like his. The skewer does.
Yeah.
Maybe he used skewers and said they were chopsticks.
I did feel like that feels like that's cheating, Virginia. Because you would not eat your sushi with one of these things.
No.
Spirit like a
You'd do some serious gum damage.
Denny's, what do you think? Over or under?
Way over.
Way over. Okay. All right. So the world record is popping 40 balloons in 60 seconds using chopsticks. All right. Let's see if Bird can get there. KVJ Respectable is going to be 15 balloons in that time. If you'd like to watch, you can dial up KVJ TV on YouTube. Go to YouTube and look for the KVJ Show, and it is right there. Okay, Bird
I'm taking the
is.
skewers out. I was going to do the regular.
Is there a distance away from the balloons that was
Yes.
set?
It's been marked off. It's been measured. All of that.
How far back are we?
6.5.
6.5
Six
feet.
and a half feet.
Okay. All right, here we go.
See me?
All right, Bird is ready.
Uh-oh.
He's got his chopsticks.
There's pointy skewers all over the floor. What could go wrong?
We got video going on here, so it's documented. Should he shock the world and break this world record?
Come on, Bird.
You could do this, my man. Shock
careful, 'cause I'm
the
throwing
world.
hard.
Shock the world. Okay. Jaybird, tell me when you are ready. Okay. All right, you look ready. Are you ready to do this?
He looks like he's about to kung fu somebody.
Oh, I am.
Okay. Here we go.
Hold on.
Moving the chair.
He had to move his chair. It was blocking the balloons.
Okay. Yeah, you're right.
Okay, now he's ready.
Okay. Here we go. 60 seconds on the clock. On your mark. Get set and go.
A one!
There's one. He's got one.
Two!
He's got two. That's impressive.
No.
Okay. He got two.
Three!
He's got three. He's got four.
Oh, my arm. Oh, damn it. Oh.
Okay. Okay, he's five. He's got five now. Oh, that bounced right off of that balloon. He threw it, hit it, but now he's got. Oh man, he's trashing the studio. 6 balloons he's got. He's got 30 seconds left. He's halfway through at 6. Okay, he's got 7 now. He's popped. Now there's a lot of space on the walls, and he's kind of boy, these skewers are bouncing off the balloons like crazy now. Okay, we're down to about 15 seconds. Jaybird is winded. I'm telling you, this is a physical feat. It's 10 seconds now on the clock. All right, he's been missing a lot. Now the chopsticks are breaking. There's I think did he get 2 and 1?
Yeah, 2.
Wow.
2 at the end.
2 at the end. Time is up. Our boy is tired. I believe the final count was 9. Is that correct?
That sounds right.
Okay, 9. He did in 60 seconds. That's challenging.
Oh my gosh.
I thought that was going to be tough.
I'm so tired.
Yeah. You're worn out. You really put everything into that.
Oh, thank God I'm not pitching today.
Oh, yeah. We
Are you
got to
just
call in a
catching?
reliever right now.
Just catch.
Just catching.
He's got to change it up. That is tough. Okay, 9 in 60 seconds. A little bit short today, but man, that's respect.
That's not that good.
Okay. All right, well, there you go. If you got chopsticks and a bunch of balloons and want to entertain the kids, you can try it out. If you missed the video, you can go back and watch it on demand anytime you want. Jaybird's world record attempt on World Record Wednesday. Well, you've got the Trumps going to be heading to South Florida today. It seems like pretty much all of them are going to be relocating at least one place or another. You've got, of course, the now, I guess, as of noon today, former Prez. It's going to be heading at least to Mar-a-Lago. I don't know. Maybe they're going to be getting another place. His kids, I think, are going to be in the area. I hear Tiffany Trump, who just got engaged, is going to be living in Miami. His oldest daughter, she just got a place recently with her husband in Indian Creek, just outside of Miami. So they're pretty much all there. And apparently his oldest son, Don Jr., is looking for a pad, and they're looking in Admiral's Cove.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's where I used to work, and it is fancy AF there.
Yeah, it really is. They don't have some cheap homes there. He's got his girlfriend, Kimberly Guilfoyle, that she all over the place. She used to be on Fox News.
All kind of different there's levels of rich there. There's really rich, and then there's really, 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 really holy crud rich in there.
Here's what they're looking at. The couple, Don Jr. and Kimberly, they have purchased jointly a 17,000 square foot, 7-bedroom, 12-bath home for $11 million. The house has got a wine room, a theater, a chef's kitchen, guest wings. It's a 2-story property that is sitting on a point out into the water. It's got 300 feet of water frontage, and you can park an 85-foot boat.
Wow.
Right outside of it.
I mean, guest wings. How cool is that? When people come to visit, you don't even have to see them. You can isolate them off in their own wing and just be in your own part of the house.
Well, you have a hotel at that point.
Yeah. You have basically a small hotel.
Well, that's the way it's set up in there.
Oh, I love it.
They don't. I mean, if you wanted to never leave Admiral's Cove, you'd never have to leave. Their country club's amazing. We'd always get the guys that worked in the bag room.
Yeah.
And for the golf area, we'd always get the leftovers from the rich people like 2 or 3 days later. Like, oh, thanks for the scraps. Oh, this is great.
2 or 3 days. That's a long time on leftovers.
It might have been 1 or 2 days. I don't want to speak out of turn.
I think you should get them same day.
I just
Give
remember
the bald boys same day scraps, please.
back in the, I wasn't even good enough to be a ball boy.
Make a bald boy wait 3 days.
It's tough, isn't it?
You didn't clean balls?
I cleaned clubs. I cleaned golf clubs. Yeah, that was what I didn't clean. Yeah, I guess I did clean balls from a certain point of view. Yeah.
Okay, she's very fascinated.
I just like the image of you just working in a fancy golf club.
Oh, and I wore all white, so I always
So many
Oh
stains.
my gosh, it was tough, man. And I was at a real fruit punch run during that time period.
Oh, I wish I could have like a hidden camera from back in the day. Yeah. That'd be so awesome.
So you got Donald Trump Jr. He's getting one home for $11 million, and then his girlfriend is going to be getting the house next to it. That's 11,000 square foot home for $9.5 million. So they're going to have side-by-side houses. Now, apparently Trump and Guilfoyle are going to live in one, and some of her family is going to be living in the other.
Okay.
That's pretty close. And on top of spending, I mean, okay, let's see. They've got $11 million on one, pretty much 10 on another. We're talking $21 million there. So I guess it's not a big deal when you got to drop $195,000 just to join the club.
Wow.
And what does that get you? I mean, is that free meals?
They have got a clubhouse where there's, if you have guests that come in and stay and you don't want them to stay in your house, I think they have places to stay there. I think they have a gym. They have some rec equipment, things like that. You can probably rent it out for parties and the such.
Yes, you can. I've been to affairs there.
You have.
Yes.
Is that what they call them, affairs? I thought they would call them a soiree.
You can do any kind of thing that you would rent out a hotel ballroom for. You can rent out their space for.
Okay.
It's like a smaller ballroom.
With a low price of $195,000. I guess Trump Jr.'s ex-wife Vanessa has got 5 kids with him, and they live nearby in Jupiter Country Club, so he wanted to be relatively close. And so you'll have Don Jr. in Admiral's Cove, 20 miles south. You'll have his dad at Mar-a-Lago, and then further south you'll have the 2 daughters there. Not sure where Eric is.
It'll be interesting to see if they keep Trump at Mar-a-Lago because, the town is trying to say, it's a private club. You can't live there. It can't be the residents. But I think until they figure it out, it's the residents.
Talking to my mother-in-law yesterday, they're throwing fits.
I love it. Fits.
They
Rich fits make me so happy.
They're funny.
They closed down the road at 8 p.m. last night.
What?
Yeah, out
How
front.
dare
It's going to be
they?
closed for a couple days.
I mean, they got to keep it secure.
I know. Fits.
They're moving all of his stuff. You can't just let the man move in.
I know. Paul Mitchers are not happy.
You'd see a lot of rich fits on the golf course.
Oh, my.
They don't pay that money for inconveniences, Virginia.
I hear
We
you.
don't care who you are.
Rich fits. Please, if anybody sees a rich fit happening, videotape it.
They're fun.
They
They're
are
fun.
good.
Yeah. Apparently, 30 residents of Admiral's Cove are also not real happy about Don Jr. They've already written letters to the neighborhood.
Oh, boy.
They write a lot of letters there, though, Kev.
They do. Yeah, I'm sure you got a few.
Well, they don't write them. Their attorneys write them.
I would say I do have a file at Admiral's Cove.
They say half the complaints are due to security. The other half are, of course, politically motivated. So, coming up here in just a couple minutes, excited for this. We've got another round of Plead the Fifth. I have sat and gotten grilled. Virginia went last week, and this week it is Jaybird's turn.
Do me a favor. Don't sing it. Bring it.
Okay? He's got to answer some tough questions
Oh,
here.
you want to taunt us, do you now?
I'm a man in a tailspin. Bring it on. Bring it on.
He's been saying this all week. I'm in a tailspin. I'm in a
Okay.
tailspin. Now's a good time to strike.
Bring it.
Yeah. Okay, some really prying questions that Jaybird should not want to answer. You can only take a pass on one and plead the fifth. We'll see how he does coming up next.
More KVJ Show right now on 97.9 WRMF.
Okay, it's time, everybody. Plead the fifth. Jaybird's turn to go. He's got 3 questions he's got to get through. Only one of them he can plead the fifth and not answer. Okay.
I'm an open book. Open me up.
All right. We're going to start here. Our first question for you, Jaybird. You can plead the fifth to this if you like, but then you got to answer the next 2.
All right.
Okay. Rank the top 3 romantic lady loves of your life.
You've got...
And why?
Well, that's 2 questions there. I'll gladly answer, but that's 2 questions. Let me think here for a second.
And tell us the order that you're going in, from worst to best or best to worst.
Well, so it's the top 3 is what you're saying?
Rank, yes.
Rank.
Rank them like in order. Be a ranking 1, 2, 3.
You've
Number
got...
1.
Okay. You've got Jessica would be coming in. Okay, so we'll go Jessica coming at 3.
Okay.
Angela coming at 2. And then Elizabeth at 1.
Okay. All right.
I mean, that question's been asked so many times.
I still love it.
Okay. For the sake of the show, you have to fire either Kevin, Virginia, or Denny's. Who goes?
Oh, sweet Denny's is not going anywhere.
Okay.
Or do I set him free to do bigger things?
Yeah?
Oh, man. Between Kevin, Virginia, and Denny's, of course, we're not going to throw Suits, the scapegoat out.
Oh, I mean,
Yeah.
He's always the easiest because he's the
Yeah.
newbie.
Right. You're
he's
gonna put
the
up a fight.
baby.
I'm going to go with... I'm going to say we're going to get rid of Kevin because I think Kevin's got enough connections in the business to do his own show.
Oh, okay.
I think Virginia would be okay with doing a show with me if Kevin left. I think if Kevin if I got rid of Virginia, Kevin's going to want to add another person. I'm not going to want to add another person. I would keep it.
She's going to be annoying.
I'd keep it Virginia, Jason, and
She
Denny's.
is going to be so annoying.
So I think Kevin gets the axe.
Okay.
Virginia stays. Denny stays. I'm not real happy that Virginia's around. Let's get that.
All right.
But I got to weigh it all out.
But let's be honest. You love me.
I mean, so much.
Okay, you are on to your third question.
If you were to leave the show, though, don't you feel like you would find a gig somewhere, Kevin?
No, I probably would be homeless and
No, you
For
would
months.
not. You know, so many radio.
I would just sit out front of the
Damn.
building in my tattered clothes and look up and
You made
way.
Kevin homeless.
why did they fire me?
There's no way.
I was the first there.
It's your show. You're gone.
They'll offer you another sports show, but you didn't make any money off of that.
No, that was, oh my gosh. Yeah, I would still be homeless if I did a sports show.
A homeless guy with a sports show.
Yeah, it's tough to prep on the street, Virginia.
But if you ask me that question tomorrow and Virginia's really on my nerves, she's getting the boot.
Okay. Denny's had submitted this one. Outside of KVJ, who is the most difficult employee to work with here within the confines of our radio station family? That would include all the different departments.
I know what Denny's is doing
Yeah,
because
he got burned
thi-
on this.
He got burned on this question.
He wants you to go through the same hell he did with the employee, like he had to go through,
Oh,
who
man, this
took it
causes
hard.
So much drama because.
Yep.
Okay. Rephrase the question or say the
Yeah,
question
ask
again.
it again because I want to hear it in all its beauty.
Outside of KVJ, but within Hubbard Radio West Palm Beach, who is the most difficult employee to work with and why?
Okay. He did get burned hard with
did.
this
He
one.
answered
so
He
hard.
answered. He still, to this day, is
Still.
dealing with the remnants of that answer.
Gosh. I got to think about this. Can I have a moment to think about
You
this?
may. Yeah, you may. Because you do have a plead the fifth in your pocket.
I mean, think about, sales.
Oh, believe me, I'm zoned in.
Promotions, management.
Yeah. Be tough.
I mean, I really like our management, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah.
I don't have any issues with management.
Butt
They're going
kiss.
to probably have
Best answer is to give somebody that you outrank. Who is the lowest ranking person here, and then say them because they can't do anything about it.
They can't hurt you professionally.
That's the right answer. Do we have any kind of directory on who was just hired?
People are telling me to plead the fifth on this one. I don't know. Damn it, Denny's.
Oh, he's loving it in there. Denny's has never had so much fun. He's enjoying
I'm really
watching
trying to
you
give
sweat. Yeah.
So it's got to be on. I think a cop out would be the building manager. That's a cop out answer.
Well, they're not employed by us.
Hubbard, yeah. It's
Yeah.
got to be somebody gets a check
Yeah,
for the same place you get a check.
Yeah.
It's not only a wrong answer. It doesn't. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Do I say it? Do I say it?
It depends on what it is.
I will say it.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
Oh, what? Should I not say this?
Write it down.
And then Virginia's going to let you know. Because
How
maybe
much-
Denny's might have said the wrong one.
It's a different one from Denny's.
It is.
Yes. That's
is.
what I was concerned with. I didn't want to be
Yeah.
double teaming
So we're not
somebody.
going to double kick
No,
the same
no,
one.
no,
no.
because that's not
Yeah.
appropriate.
Yeah.
Well, and plus, I don't know if that's the answer. All right. Damn it! No.
You will forever be in the outs with this person.
Okay, it's so fun to watch him. He's so animated and he's so
I know.
struggling
Well,
right
he wants
now.
the pride of being able to say he answered every question.
Because the audience wants
He
that.
wants that pride.
I do want that pride.
Of saying I didn't use my plead the fifth. I
Oh.
could have, but I didn't.
And it's nothing to do with this as a person. I got to give those. Okay, I'll just say it. I feel like there's a lot of miscommunication with this person in the building. And we've had some drama,
Yeah.
which we all can repair.
Sure, I mean work drama is
Not
inevitable,
now.
right?
I don't want to say it.
No, this is irreparable.
I don't want to say
This
it.
is a forever thing.
Oh, this is so good. I need popcorn.
People are like, don't do it. People are, the chat room's helping me out right now. They're saying, don't do
Oh,
it.
they're a big
Don't
help.
listen to the chat room.
They're a big help.
Do you want people to always remember you as the guy that pled the fifth? Is that how you want to be remembered around here?
You are setting the tone for both Denny's and Suits.
He's going to consult with
They're coming up.
his legal.
Well, he's in there consulting with Denny's, who got burned on this very question, and this is Denny's question. I'm not sure what Denny's is going to tell him. If Denny's was telling him, he'd probably say, don't do it.
I think I gotta plead the fifth.
Yeah, I think Denny's regrets answering that question.
Well, okay, here's the problem.
Yeah.
The audience is going to be annoyed with me, and I think they're going to forgive me by tomorrow. They'll be annoyed. You'll get emails, Bird, you
true.
suck, you're terrible.
It's true.
But we get those every day.
Yeah, exactly. I'm kind of used to getting crapped on. I don't want to hurt this person's feelings. I really don't.
Okay.
It's not cool.
I hate it when
right
you're
thing.
so nice.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
No, you're making the right choice.
You're going to have to live with it. You'll live with it.
Look at
I
Denny's.
just know how I am. I know the audience is going to be mad at me right now. I will feel so
Who
bad.
forgives you sooner, the audience or...
This person would never forgive me. I'm definitely going. The audience is going to have to hate me today. I'm so sorry, audience. It's
Okay.
the right. It's a great question.
It's the right move.
It would cause a lot of drama because I actually think it would be bad.
Okay. Do you want your other questions that we'd had for you?
Yeah,
And
bring
tell
it
me if
on.
Any of them? Not you don't have to answer any of them.
I thought I got 5. Virginia got 5.
No, I think she got 3.
She did.
I think
I got a
she
few
got 3.
extra.
Okay.
Because I didn't do it right, so I did get
Got
an
ya.
extra. But
Yeah,
you
I think
did.
she got 3.
I just don't want to cheat anybody. I feel like I'm cheating people.
Yeah. You get 5 more years with Chewy, but you have to beat Suits up so badly you put him in the hospital. Do you do it? I mean, he's like, why are you doing this? Why?
And Suits doesn't fight back
You have
at
to
all.
keep kicking him, punching him, and hitting him, and hitting him.
Kick his ass so bad.
Do you do it?
But 5 more years with Chewy.
Yeah, okay, you don't have to answer that. You don't have to answer that. That's extra.
Just think about it.
Okay, here comes the Bird's on its menstrual cycle. Virginia's the best on the show, the best personality. Jaybird, you suck.
Oh, don't read the comment.
forget
You gotta
about
read the
it.
comment. I can't live in denial like you.
You're in the middle of the bit. Focus on Kevin.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
they're
Focus
part
on kicking Suits' ass.
I'm kicking Suits' ass.
There's a lot of dumbass criminals to talk about, baby. It's the whacked out news. People breaking the law. Ha ha, fighting in the nude. Ha, drunk people pooping in the street. Ha ha, it's the whacked out news. Huh, so many people on meth. Ow!
Oh, yeah. Cocaine hippos. What the heck? Apparently, they're becoming a real problem in Colombia. If you've seen Narcos on Netflix, remember how Pablo Escobar used to get all those exotic animals? And he had hippos that would be in the water? Well, those hippos, after he was killed in 1993, went unchecked. And they're not naturally from Colombia. They're from Africa typically, and they have to deal with the dry season. But when they put them in the wet marshes of Colombia, apparently it's a fertile breeding ground.
Oh.
And since they were brought in the 80s, these cocaine hippos, which apparently are very violent, by the way, and that's one of the reasons why Pablo loved having them there, is really nobody could get by them.
Narcos hippos?
Narcos hippos. They started breeding like crazy, and they say there's now as many as 100 of them. And last year, a Colombian cattle farmer got bitten by one of these hippos. He was thrown into the air, broke his leg, his hip, several ribs.
Oh, damn.
And they're trying to figure out what can we do with these hippos because they say they're competing with native wildlife and they're polluting the local waterways with their toxic urine and feces.
Oh.
Ew.
That's not a
Dang.
I mean, there's a lot of big game hunters that love shooting animals, and it kind of breaks my heart, but this one might be necessary.
party. Damn, Virginia hates hippos. Pass it on.
Yeah, well, they might get to that point because they tried sterilizing them, but they say that's been unsuccessful. Apparently, male hippos have retractable testes. So when they go down to snip them, they go whoop, and they suck them right back up in.
Now that is fancy.
I would love retractable testes.
You're the king of the party.
Yeah.
The balls go inside them?
Yeah.
Wow.
What a great gag, huh?
Almost like a transformer kind of a thing.
Yeah,
It turns into.
Hey, watch this. Whoop. There they go.
That is cool.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. This story also said that during his height, Pablo was worth $25 billion, the 7th richest man in the world.
Wow.
That's why he didn't know what to do with his money. He was just buying animals.
He's buying weird animals.
Yeah. Well, we've got our own African species running amok here in South Florida. Another story about those vervet monkeys near the Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International Airport. They've been there for decades.
And they're not native.
Yeah, right.
Are they the ones that have the herpes?
No.
Why are you all obsessed with herpes monkeys?
They do not carry herpes in their saliva, urine, or feces, it says.
Okay. See, it's a fair question.
I believe they're STD free.
You think.
Yeah, they say these monkeys actually came here as part of the Dania chimpanzee farm in the late 1940s. And their ancestors had escaped from that. It was a chimpanzee farm that was opened by a member of the Roosevelt family. And they were brought in for biomedical use. And so since then, they've been breeding and living right there in Dania Beach. In fact, Missy Williams is part of the Dania Beach Vervet Project. She created a sanctuary for the colony of the 40 monkeys near the park and go there near the airport. Apparently, they say the monkeys are pretty friendly. They always are looking for something to eat, and they like bananas and peanuts.
Aww.
But they say if you leave your car window open and there's something in there, they will climb in your car and go for it.
They have sticky fingers.
If I'm sitting there at the airport waiting to pick up a friend and a monkey jumps in my car, I'm going to poop myself.
Yeah.
The monkey would love that. Throw it right back at you.
But just a warning to you, the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission will fine or arrest anyone who is feeding, trapping, or harassing these monkeys.
Ah, okay.
I knew that there was a herpes monkey story you had brought up, I think, last year, and I looked it up, and Florida has herpes monkeys.
We do, okay.
Yeah, so that's why the confusion came there.
Well, remind me not to make out with a monkey.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you don't, how do you know these monkeys? You say these monkeys don't have herpes. We don't know what they did last night.
Yeah, they're regularly tested for STDs, apparently.
Oh, my goodness. You need to Google baby vervet monkey. Oh,
adorable, huh?
They are the cutest little monkey I've ever seen.
They steal, though. They'll run right up and steal your cell phone from you.
Oh, yeah. That monkey can have my cell phone. He's so cute.
Yeah, okay. All right, DeQuesta.
They say this is some big animal news. Extinct animal news. The first dinosaur cloacal vent. You and I might call it a bunghole, but they say that...
a dino bung?
A dino bung, the first ever discovered. And apparently it was in great condition.
Wait, a dinosaur's BH?
Yeah. They say it was so well preserved, they actually found fossilized poo in there.
Wow.
Right?
Okay.
Pretty amazing. And they say that the dinos that they figured out from finding this intact BH is that it was a multi-purpose opening for pooing, peeing, breeding, and egg laying. All out of one hole. Yeah. How about that?
That's very talented.
So they learned a lot just by finding one dino bung.
Huh.
Yeah.
We got to bring them back.
Everything comes out of the same hole?
Apparently so.
What about cross-contamination?
I don't know. It just makes it all easier, doesn't it? Kind of more streamlined with everything.
I don't know. When you have a baby, a lot of women, myself included, end up going number 2 while you're pushing. And
How would you know the baby from the...
Well, they try to do everything they can to keep the poop away from the baby because you don't want the poop to get on the baby for contamination purposes.
It's bad for photos, too. All right, I got some wily people in the news. Titusville police saw 18-year-old Nicholas DeBeaties driving a red Hyundai Elantra at an extremely high rate of speed, about 11:15 p.m. They turn on the lights, try to get him to stop, and he takes off. Many places he could have stopped, but he drove right into the trailer park where he lives. Brevard County
he
cops
drove
got
him right to his house.
Right to his house, yeah. And, of course, he had an outstanding warrant. He was just trying to get to his mama. He's an 18-year-old. And he said when they asked him why he didn't stop, he said he was driving too fast to stop. What? And he said his mama wanted him to come home. So he had to race home to mama. But apparently mama is not protection. He was arrested and charged with aggravated fleeing, eluding, operating an unregistered vessel, and reckless driving. So there you go. Mom is not an excuse.
No, indeed.
couple from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina have been accused of having sex on the Skywheel ride and in a community pool. They made videos and posted them up on a porn site, and they saw it and recognized the landmarks and came and arrested them. How about that?
Wow.
Yeah. Just a little note of warning to you there.
They thought they were going to be tricky and cool.
Yeah. Another couple in South Carolina got into a fight on Sunday when this guy joked about how his husband only had one testy, and the fight got physical, and the guy who made the joke was arrested for domestic violence.
Wow.
Okay, so don't joke about One Ball McGraw.
I'm not gonna lie, dog. My mind's still with that dinosaur thing you brought in.
Yeah, it should
all
stick with
inclusive.
you.
Can't stop thinking about butt.
Yeah, he can't. He's all in it.
Dino butt.
Dino butt. Back in November, somebody had launched a hotline that you could call if you just needed to scream at something. Sounded like a good idea.
Is this a South Florida thing?
It's a 561 number, which is the West Palm Beach area code. So I would assume that it is set up here in South Florida. You just call and I guess scream, and I guess today's your last chance to do it. It's a 561 number, 567-8431. The guy who started it says he's going to stop accepting calls tomorrow, but so far he's received over 70,000 calls and screams that people have submitted, and he archived them all online. Sounds like a dino. There you go. So, last chance to do that. All right, so if you feel like you need to scream, 561-567-8431. It's one of the interesting things happening here in South Florida. Got some more irony. I picked up some amazing little tidbits. I live in West Palm Beach, but I don't know everything there is to know about West Palm Beach. Today, we are doing the story about West Palm. Looking for a little bit of the history, the scandal, things that you may not know. This is coming from a guy that actually lives here and has for 21 years. So some really fascinating stuff. If you got any scandal you want to drop into the West Palm bucket, you can. 877-979-WRMF. We'll talk about it next. South Florida is a very fascinating place. There's so many unbelievable stories. Each town has got their own unique stories, from cocaine runners to all kinds of scandal and big-time celebrities and politicians and things like that.
And murder.
Oh, murder, yes. My gosh, South Florida's got definitely its fair share. So we're kind of breaking it down and putting a little spotlight on each and every little town here in South Florida, an ongoing series here, the story about. And today, talking a little bit about West Palm Beach. So we're looking for a little bit of the history and a little bit of the scandal, and there is a lot to go around. And I've lived here for 21, almost 22 years, and there's stuff that people were putting up on our Facebook page. I'm like, oh my gosh, how did I not know about that?
I lived here my whole life, other than college a few different years, but I'm a local. Through and through. I probably know a lot of these stories.
Okay. Did you know that West Palm Beach is the oldest incorporated municipality in all of South Florida? In fact, it beats Miami by 2 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
You would think Miami came first.
Nope. West Palm came first. Miami came 2 years later. In fact, when West Palm was first set up, it was part of Dade County.
Huh.
How about that, huh? In 1909, they formed Palm Beach County, and they built that courthouse in 1916, the one that they just refurbished.
Yes, they did a great job.
Still there. In 1928, as people were kind of coming into South Florida, we got hit with a hurricane, a Cat 4 at 125 mile an hour winds. And then they didn't have these kind of homes built like what we have today to withstand that. So a Cat 4 then in 1928 was devastating. So many people died. They didn't know what to do with a lot of the bodies, especially out near Lake Okeechobee. And they just shipped them to West Palm Beach, and they did a mass grave with 69 bodies at Woodlawn Cemetery. Just dumped them all in.
I heard, too, that
Covered them up.
during that hurricane, it kind of messed up Lake Park area as well.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure it did. Yeah, it hit a good part of South Florida. That was in 1928. Michael dropped a little bit of that nugget on us. Thank you for that. During World War II, German U-boats loved to just hang there on the West Palm Beach coast, and they were looking for merchant ships and oil tankers to sink them. So you would go out there and there'd be U-boats all over the place. Can you imagine the threat of trying to go out for a day on the water and you run into a German U-boat?
It's intimidating.
That's kind of intimidating. They say in the 1960s, they built the Palm Beach Mall. It was Palm Beach County's first enclosed shopping mall, and now the outlet malls stand where that mall did.
My dad would take me to that place all the time as a kid.
Yeah.
Palm Beach Mall, you get something to eat, Hopefully a Star Wars figure.
It was the first one to get going.
It was a big deal to go to the Palm Beach Mall. In fact, that's where me, Mom, and like the family would go there to eat. I always talk about that buffet at Birdines. They had a Birdines there, and they had a buffet. And
That doesn't sound right.
It was. It was it was delicious. It was amazing. We
At
loved
Birdines,
it.
huh?
Birdines had a restaurant area. Yeah,
okay.
back in the 80s.
You might remember this. Do you remember an HBO documentary in 1989 called Crack
USA?
USA, County Under Siege?
It's right. It's walking distance from here. They do a lot of stuff on Broadway.
Yeah.
There's a lot of landmarks that you recognize. They would always play it on HBO. We'd always freak out, go, oh my gosh, we know that building.
Yeah, it was a big deal. It focused on all the drug problems happening in West Palm Beach because West Palm had an era like in the 80s and early 90s where downtown was a mess. It just was not good down there.
I told you when I played ball up at Chipola Junior College, it's real country up there. And they must have seen or heard about that
Sure.
documentary. Because
all you would know, yeah.
I was from South Florida. I was from
Think
West
it's a drug
Palm.
town, yeah.
Oh, man, Penny, you like cocaine and crack, don't you? But no.
Big city crackhead.
Well, in
No,
1993, 60 Minutes did a whole thing on the urban decay in West Palm Beach. It was a big special. So all you saw from 89 to 93 on HBO and primetime television was just how West Palm Beach was just a blight.
Even back then, South Florida would have been in the whacked out news.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Totally.
Virginia and I got here just in time for the whole hanging Chad debate with the presidential election of 2000 between George W. Bush and Al Gore.
Oh, you guys were on the air for that.
We were.
And what's the difference between the political climate back then compared to now?
It still, even with that going on, wasn't as nasty and toxic as it is today.
I didn't think it was.
No, I do remember they had that big protest outside of I don't even know what that building was, but my wife and I parked there on Friday, and the memories rushed back about how they had all the protesters and all the news.
That must
was
have
right
been
there.
like where they were counting the votes.
They were counting the votes
Yeah.
inside that building, and it was downtown West Palm Beach, and all the streets were shut down, and it was the whole country was on a standstill looking at West Palm Beach, waiting to see how we were going to determine the presidential election.
It'd be interesting to see how everything would have played out, just with everyone's mood back then if there was social media around. I mean, that's how you know
might have been that
people
toxic,
are.
yeah.
It might have been
crazy.
because it
Yeah.
adds fuel to every fire.
So much fuel.
A couple other things about West Palm Beach that maybe you did not know. The county courthouse down there in Palm Beach was featured on the TV show Twin Peaks. Not the booby sports restaurant, but the show that was on ABC like 25 years ago.
Someone just sent me a message saying, Bert, you got to watch Twin Peaks. It's on Netflix, and you would love it.
Yeah.
Have you seen it before?
I never have, but it was kind of a cult classic. There are some people that really do love it. And when you see the courthouse that they show there, that's the one from West Palm Beach.
That's cool.
Now, right now, West Palm Beach is the home to the Houston Astros and the Washington Nationals for spring training baseball. But there is a history of spring training baseball going way, way back in West Palm Beach. Connie Mack Field sits in the place where the Kravis Center is now. In fact, I think you can find a place where they made a monument to where home plate used to sit at Connie Mack Field.
Connie Mack's a big deal in baseball, Virginia, and the history of baseball.
What did she do?
It was a guy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, sad for him.
He was a manager.
Who names a dude Connie?
Dude, it was the olden times.
Yeah, back in the early 20s, it was the home to the Philadelphia and then the Kansas City Athletics. And when they got rid of Connie Mack Field, they opened up the West Palm Beach Municipal Stadium. And that was home to the Milwaukee and then Atlanta Braves, then the Montreal Expos. And that stadium was demolished in 2002. And that was where the Home Depot is now on Palm Beach Lakes and Congress.
When I played American Legion baseball for Post 271, we would always have games against, they called them posts, Virginia. Post 12 was West Palms, and their home field was Municipal Stadium.
Oh, cool.
We had a regular high school field. They had a legit stadium.
Wow.
And it was a very big deal. If you were playing at Municipal Stadium, to stay in the same batter's box as Dale Murphy or whoever your favorite was.
They were a big team then, absolutely. Got some celebrities as well. Burt Reynolds, he graduated from the old Palm Beach High School, which I don't believe that's now, that's not even around. They turned that into Dreyfus, right? Isn't that what Palm Beach High School was?
Is it?
So there was a few different high schools back then. I think he started off in Lake Park Elementary.
Yeah.
And was it there was another high school, not Gold Coast, but there was another name, and I think that's the one it was.
Okay.
It was in Lake Park, I believe, or
Okay.
outside of Lake Park.
Brooks Koepka, I think he's like currently ranked about 12th in the world in golf. He's one of the top guys. He was born in West Palm and went to Cardinal Newman High School.
Oh.
You've got Tiffany Trump, daughter of President Donald Trump, was born in West Palm Beach at the hospital here.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Anybody submit anything about that serial killer, Christopher Wilder?
No, I didn't see that. And I don't know because a lot of the serial killer stuff kind of touches a little bit more in some of the other surrounding towns. So about West Palm Beach proper, I don't know if they've necessarily had their own. So I didn't see anything on that. Debbie did post up something that, tell me if you remember this. Debbie on her Facebook page, when I asked about the story about West Palm Beach, she said, does anybody remember back in the late 80s when Donald J. Trump Jr. got the crap knocked out of him at a bar in Palm Beach, and then his daddy went on TV and threatened to sue whoever beat his kid up?
I do not remember
I don't remember that at all.
Debbie threw that out there. I don't know if there's anybody that does remember that. I'm like, whoa. Wouldn't you love to see that footage today?
I don't have any recollection.
I mean, 89 or 90, I would never have remembered that. I would have been out of that kind of...
She's asking if anybody does. Also, Liz said the last mass that JFK attended in his lifetime was at St. Anne Catholic Church in downtown West Palm Beach, and he was assassinated just days later.
I love that church. That is a beautiful church.
Last service that John Fitzgerald Kennedy attended was right there at St. Anne Catholic Church.
Thank you, Kimberly Thomas in the chat room. Twin Lakes High School.
Okay, that's right. Yeah, Twin
Burt
Lakes.
Reynolds.
Other things. Howard said the Fat Boys filmed a movie here when I was a kid, mid-'80s.
Yes.
The rap group. That's fascinating.
Fat boys out there.
They used to do the, was it Swatch commercials they used to do? Swatch Watch?
I mean,
Back
Swatch.
in the 80s?
Probably.
Swatch is so 1987.
Yeah, it was. And then Grant said, my favorite West Palm Beach story is how the landing strip burned itself down. That was the strip club that used to be outside of the airport.
That was divine intervention stepping in.
We
Yeah.
had some memorable moments in that landing strip.
Yeah, we both saw strippers eating burgers walking on stage at different times. That's crazy.
Ours was pregnant, too.
It was kind of like a one-up of gross.
We top that.
Okay, you guys
Gross
win.
and sad.
You guys win.
Yeah. Each stripper's like, oh, I can be more gross and sad. Just wait till God finally burned it down. A quick explanation. We were talking about the story of West Palm Beach, and Burt Reynolds had gone to Palm Beach High School. Somebody texted and said Palm Beach High had turned into Twin Lakes and then turned into Palm Beach Lakes, and then it was sold to Dreyfus. Palm Beach Lakes went there for only half a year because the new school wasn't done being built in time on military.
That's a Florida native right there.
That's somebody who knows their history.
They do.
And I did not know that. So always learning something new. There's a lot of good stuff going on. Somebody said, does anybody remember the Topless Donut Place? And then there was the hot dog girls. They were in thongs and sold hot dogs.
Yes.
I remember that story because remember, Virginia, we did that where I got in a thong and was selling hot dogs right out front of the airport, right
Yes.
by the ice box.
I do remember that.
About 20 years ago, I went to, because we recreated that because that was a story.
Look at you out there doing stunts.
I had to do it all. I don't know how I ran it. How did I run a show standing on a street corner in a thong?
And then you guys probably went right to the icebox to drink.
We did.
No, I remember that day. I had the flu terribly, and I had like 102 fever. I went home and I passed out in my bathroom on the floor and woke up like days later. It was just, I don't even know what it was. I
my.
shouldn't have been out there.
No.
Whatever you caught, you probably caught it from the icebox.
Yeah, probably. So oddly enough, I do remember that for that. So thank you for filling in the blanks, some of the interesting stuff. Coming up here in a second, Jaybird has a question on proper etiquette on doing this. Should you ever help the cashier bag your groceries? Yes or no? He's got a question about this next.
Did you miss a segment from the KVJ Show? Find it on kvjshow.com or soundcloud.com/KVJ Show.
Ooh, this is a day I could get behind. It's National Cheese Lovers Day.
Gets me so excited. When you think about all the
goodness.
different cheeses,
Oh, yes.
you got to celebrate.
Oh, it's so good.
Ain't nothing but a grilled cheese party.
That's right. You could do that as well. They did a study, too, looking at the type of cheese that each state Googles more than average. Queso was first in 8 different states, including Florida. and cream cheese was next with 6. I'm queso over cream cheese any day.
It's not even close.
I like to put cream cheese in my queso.
You're very controversial. I like that. I like that about you and cheese. I like when you get controversial with cheese.
You have a favorite?
I do.
Okay, which?
I love Swiss cheese, and I like it when it gets a little sweaty. It gets almost kind of like the sweat of the cheese gets in the bread, and I love me provolone.
Okay.
Swiss and provolone. Oh.
The favorites, if you look down based on how many states they got on the Google searches, queso won, cream cheese next with 6, Swiss cheese won 4 states. Really big in the Midwest. My home state of Ohio is big into the Swiss cheese.
To go back on your queso point, not all queso is created equal. There are some people that make a really crappy queso.
I've had terrible queso.
It's cheap, it's hard, it doesn't have enough flavor.
Yeah, flavor balancing is so crucial. I've tasted queso before, and it tasted like I was eating paper.
It's actually disrespectful to cheese.
Yeah,
but if it's done right, you can't beat it.
You can't beat it if it's done right.
Warm queso. It is the best.
Velveeta actually won 4 states, if you count that as cheese.
Look, me and Virginia love Velveeta.
I'm sorry. It is in the family of cheese. Yes, it's made with the same thing they make yoga mats with, but it tastes delicious.
You know what I found out? I'm a fan of whatever yoga mats taste like. I love yoga mat ingredients.
Turns out, if you had to, you could eat yoga mats.
I probably could.
Good to know.
Yeah, I loved it when a certain person put it in their bread. They took it out of their bread. Don't know if I like it as much. I don't know.
Brie won 4 states.
Brie is great. That's the one that you like with the fruit.
That's fancy cheese.
Yeah, it is.
That's when Bird's feeling eloquent.
Virginia, you're fancy. Have you ever heard of cotija cheese?
Cotija?
Yeah, Cotija, cotija.
I don't think I have. What kind is that?
I don't know. It's big in Arizona, Colorado, Hawaii, and Oregon, out west.
I got a cheese for you. It's called Wensleydale, and it is so good. Wensleydale, and it's got bits of cranberry in it, and it's so good. I love it.
You know, I'm surprised a girl like you, Tequesta fancy, you like Velveeta.
I do like Velveeta. I'm a girl
That's
from the
more
streets.
the Louisiana in her.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like when you get a little slummy with
That's the poor kid in me.
Yeah.
We were raised on Velveeta shells and cheese. Velveeta shells and cheese came out when I was a kid, and it was a game changer.
Fat Kevin, you would love Velveeta.
I did.
But the shells made in a pizza format.
Okay.
Oh, it's so good.
Really?
Fat Kevin, the Kevin Ralston, you're not going to want it.
So what are you doing? You're putting the macaroni and cheese on a pizza? Is that what you're saying?
Get a crust, and you can do all kind of things with it. You can chop up little meats in there and put it there if that's your so desire. You can put ketchup in there. Love ketchup and mac and cheese. I know Virginia doesn't.
Get out.
The other cheeses that won a few states: Colby, feta, mozzarella, Parmesan, pepper jack, which I love.
Parm is great. Mozzarella is great. I could feta. I don't know. Feta is kind of annoying.
Get out of here, feta. We're fed up with you.
Feta don't melt, and if you don't melt, get the hell out.
I love Parmesan cheese, but it sometimes smells like vomit to me.
It's pungent.
It smells like throw up.
You have to use it sparingly. You can't use it like you would use a Gouda.
And I do.
I know.
I go hard.
No one doubts that.
You got Gouda actually went in Alaska, so it did get a state. Jaybird, you want to stay away from Wyoming because cottage cheese is #1 there.
Wyoming, you don't even belong in this country.
Here's one you don't love, but I do. Ricotta. Galbani makes this double cream ricotta. It's new. It's in a white container. Normally their stuff is in a red container. It's in a white container. Oh my gosh. If you just add a little bit of that to your pasta sauce.
That used to be my secret for my smoothies. Using ricotta cheese.
I love ricotta.
It's so great in a smoothie.
I like it on pizza. I like it on pasta. I like it with sometimes I'll use it as a dip, and I'll just dip a pretzel in it and eat it like that. It's so good.
The reason why I have a little beef with ricotta is I feel like it's a BI. I think it's a bully ingredient. too many people put too much ricotta. It's a ricotta overload. We can't have that.
Somebody's saying the cotija is a Mexican cheese. Tastes like feta.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
I don't think we don't like feta.
We don't love feta, Kevin. I got a thing against feta.
Well, cottage feta, they're not real cheeses.
Delaware, their favorite cheese is Cheese Whiz.
Oh, so Philly cheesesteaks, a lot of them are made with that Cheese Whiz,
really?
and they are fantastic.
Fat Kevin, did you like Cheese Whiz on them chicken biscuits? You know what I'm talking about? Them greasy chicken biscuits.
Yeah, those chicken biscuits are amazing. Oh, they're so fattening.
They are, especially with Cheese Whiz on.
I housed a box of those cheese biscuits and then looked at the calories. I was like, oh my gosh.
My only knock on the chicken biscuits is that there's just not enough of them in there.
Chicken biscuits with that spray cheese.
That's what I want.
Oh.
That's what, again, that is the grimy side of you coming out.
It's the grimy side, but I don't care. I'm going to show you.
Okay, well, you can celebrate Cheese Lovers Day. Go out to your local grocery store, get some cheese today, and celebrate like crazy. But if you do get it, maybe you shouldn't bag it. Jaybird had a little bit of an awkward situation. He went to the grocery store. The cashier didn't have anybody to bag, and Jaybird decided he'd throw his hamburger hands into the mix.
Oh, no.
Well, no, because all of the groceries were piling up and no one was helping her. And she looked like there was a line, so she was slammed. So I start kind of helping out, putting them in the bag. I can tell she didn't like that. She was like, I got it. Don't worry about it, sir. I got it. And then she had like a side comment about how I didn't have all of my frozen foods in one
that's a big
section.
thing, yeah.
And almost kind of lecturing me like, keep your frozen foods together. Keep your other stuff together.
Let me guess. You put the shampoo right next to the raw chicken?
I have done that.
Oh, my
Not
gosh.
next to the raw chicken, but next to the
I
pizza.
can see this guy. You are a nightmare for the bag person who's watching you do it, and you're stressing them out.
I don't mean no harm.
They are tweaking. You have triggered them.
But it starts to make me nervous too because now you have this line forming. No one's doing the groceries. Now she's going to do the groceries and do the...
It's better to let her do it than you go up there and break every rule of bagging.
I'm trying to help, dog.
You're driving her nuts.
Believe me, the comment like, oh, you got the frozen here next to... I'm like, all right, I clearly done this wrong.
Liz texted in. She said, yeah, you can help the clerk with the bag items with the exception of Publix. I always bring my own bags, and the cashier doesn't even bother to bag my items, so I have to bag them myself. So
It gets uncomfortable.
Sometimes, after COVID, they said they didn't want people to bring their own bags because they don't want their people touching your bag. It's just a safety thing. It's not about attitude.
Not gonna lie, man, I'm not a very strong bagger. I mean,
Duh.
It gets the Walmart bag. I swear they super glue those things together. I'm not even kidding, man.
I would love to go ahead of him in line and actually super glue the Walmart bags.
You don't have
to. Each
to.
other.
You don't have to do it. When I'm at Walmart, I have such anxiety during self-checkout.
Yeah. I'd love to do a bag off with the bird, see how well he does.
Oh,
put him in some pressure. And
you would destroy
Well,
me.
you used to be a bag boy. You would clean his clock.
we used to take pride in it, yes. We'd have races with each other. We'd wait and be like, ready, go. And then you would have to have them all put in the right place.
Yeah.
Frozen with frozen.
Okay.
You never put the detergents with the regular edible food ever.
Oh,
That's a cardinal sin of bagging.
He would put bleach next to raw chicken.
I wouldn't do because you act like I'm cooking all this raw chicken. I never cook raw chicken, but I would take my bleach and put that next to my pies.
Yeah. Cardinal sin of bagging.
Frozen
Cardinal
pie.
sin.
Oh, I'm the worst bagger.
Ready for that big bagger challenge? Myself versus the bird.
Look, I never said I was good, but I ain't scared of the fight. I'll take the challenge.
That'd be a fun thing. We'll have to go do it. I like going to the self-checkouts. Big fan of that.
Hate it
do
so
that
much.
now all the time.
But Rocco is obsessed with self-checkout.
I could see that.
If we go anywhere and they have self-checkout, as soon as we walk in the door, he's talking about it the whole time.
I can't stand self-checkout. I hate it so much.
You need to get
I need routine.
the cashier.
I need help, but then I annoy her. So.
I think for a cashier, it is kind of a peeve. Somebody texted in and said, I used to work for Winn-Dixie and Walmart, and it would drive me mad if a customer tried to bag their own groceries. But as a customer, I refuse to let them bag my groceries. They always try to bag my raw chicken with other meats. Huge no-no.
See, other people working there doing it.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I'm ignorant in the grocery bagging game.
That's why I like the self-checkout. There's no fight.
Yeah, the self-checkout has made life a lot easier.
I can feel people's eyeballs burning a hole in my back. Like, is this clown ever going to get done?
As long as you don't have too much stuff at the checkout. If you're doing self-checkout, you should limit yourself to like 15 items. Anything above that, now you don't have that conveyor belt, you're a problem.
Interesting philosophy. I haven't heard anyone talk about this.
Go easy. If you're self-checking out, you don't have a conveyor belt, you don't need to be up there with 100 items.
Yeah, okay. I hope they just always keep it the same. I just want to go into the aisle where people are there.
I'd like to see how you guys answer this coming up here in a second. When you're wearing a mask, as we all need to do when you're out doing your grocery shopping, what do you do if you need to sneeze? There's a couple different options here. What do you do and how do you handle it when you're there bagging your groceries, your hands are full, and here comes an uncontrollable sneeze. We'll discuss next.
Do you need more KVJ Show? Find everything KVJ at KVJShow.com.
Okay, so let's say that you are bagging your own groceries. You're at the store and this uncontrollable sneeze starts to come on. What do you do? How do you handle it, Virginia?
I saw a lady in the Publix deli do it all wrong. This hooker took her mask down and sneezed in her hand. And I was like, oh my gosh, you are a disaster.
Ugh. Okay. So
you leave your mask on.
Leave your mask on.
And you sneeze in that. And then you go to the bathroom and figure it out.
I saw somebody that was handling food. They had their mask on. I told this story, but the mask was kind of loose and hanging above, and they sneezed, and you could see sneezy particles in the air.
That's
and
when
it was
I leave.
around food.
I leave.
And
I leave.
But if you're hungry, like I had that teenager hunger.
No.
Here's how it breaks down. Virginia, you say the right way to do it, keep your mask on and sneeze into it.
That's what I would do. I don't want to spray.
That's how a majority of people do. 41% are saying if they've got to sneeze with their mask on, that's what they do. But the woman that you called a hooker, Virginia, is part of the 31% that will pull it down and sneeze into their clothes or their hands like we didn't have a pandemic going on and you would sneeze normally. So it's not that far off, 41% versus 31%.
I know, but you just have to think about it before you do it and maybe have a plan because sneezes sneak up on us. And I realize just as much as anybody else, I could make the same mistake and pull it down and sneeze in my hand. Absolutely, because you're not thinking. But if you have a plan ahead of time and you know if I'm going to sneeze, do it in my mask. I don't want to spray. That, I think, is the right way to do it.
Okay.
And there's different sneezers out there. There are people that sneeze like... And then there's people,
yeah.
And the person that is they're going to be a lot of sneasel.
And wash your mask every night because if you're not washing your mask every night, you're going to be sneezing in it more because it's going to have bacteria in it and it's going to cause you to be irritated.
Plus, it's probably going to start smelling.
Ugh, mine start to get real funky because I get makeup on mine. Mine look like they've been fighting with a clown.
There is a percentage of this survey that just sneeze into the air. I guess without any kind of block, hand, clothes, mask, anything. They just let it rip.
Those people should be tackled and throat punched.
When you sneeze and no one's around, you're private. Do you still kind of hold in, or do you let it all just achah?
I typically try the usual thing where I pinch the nose. I push up a little bit on the bridge of my nose to see if I can stop it. If I'm going to sneeze, even if I'm alone, I will sneeze into the crook of my elbow. And I can't even think, unless I get caught off guard, I would never just blatantly sneeze, even if nobody's around, out into the atmosphere.
If I play bongos on my eyeballs, I can make myself sneeze that way. There's something in the eyeball that hits.
Prove it.
What do you got to do?
Do it.
You got to tap on your eyes?
Hitting his eyeballs.
Oh, don't get stage fright. Don't get stage fright.
Some people can make themselves sneeze.
Oh, I can do it.
Do it.
Hold on.
Amazing.
All right, it's going to take a while.
Okay.
Maybe the podcast,
right,
kind of get people to listen.
I want to give a shout out to Ruth Liplack. Thank you very much. When I was leaving yesterday, our fine receptionist said, hey, here's something for you. And I always drink out of these kind of like Yeti cups that you have.
Yes.
That are the cooling cups with the lid on it, and she got me one that has got the big old Ohio State Buckeye logo on the front. It's amazing. It's on there rock solid. It's a beautiful cup. This is right in the genre of what I do. I go through one or two of these every single day during the show, and you can see them on KVJ TV. So thank you very much to Ruth for that. I do appreciate that.
Why does it say
Shout out.
4114 engraved in it?
Come on, man. Go with the last big
I
loss.
couldn't think of it.
5224 is the new 4114.
52-24.
I mean, come on. We've had crushing defeats since that one back in 2007.
5224.
It's harder to say.
It's way harder.
It is. Yeah, 4114 does roll. But there you go. So thanks again for that. All right. We've got an After the Show podcast that is going to be coming up here live on both our Facebook and YouTube channels. You can go check it out by searching for the KVJ Show on either, or watch it on demand, or listen to the 97.9 WRMF app. We have our regular show streaming live, and then our podcast, the regular show and the After the Show, is on there absolutely free anytime you want. All right, Jaybird, wrap up our show here today with your thought.
It is what a person thinks of themselves that really determines their own fate.
That's a good one.
You're listening to the KVJ Show on 97.9 WRMF.